Howdy, folks. Welcome to not Adventures in Albion. That's on Fridays.
Adventures
Welcome
in
to Mosaic Team 5,
Space.
our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your DM this evening and joining me are my friends Dan, Kara, and Ari.
You have less friends today.
I have fewer friends today, but
Fewer physical friends.
But all of the friends still exist. They're still alive. Matt is in a wedding, or doing wedding-related activities, and then Olive is at a Slipknot concert. And so we will welcome them back next week.
I mean, we'll think about it.
Yeah, I know.
That's a choice.
Yeah, but that is where people are. We're going to play Starfinder tonight, but before we do, a couple quick announcements. First of all, on YouTube, we're at Albion RPG. You can see all of the old sessions, which number somewhere in the, I think we have 400 plus sessions of role-playing that are up on YouTube right now, so you can see that at Albion RPG. We re-air the week sessions every Sunday. You can also find us on Instagram at Albion RPG for in-depth photos. We have a table in front of us, and you can see what's on that table. Right now, it's cookies, combat cookies.
Combat cookies!
But you can see that in greater detail at Albion RPG. We also have encounter maps. We have, you probably won't see the cookies. Well, I don't know. I feel like food has a way of popping up. It kind of gets to the periphery when battle maps come out. But at Albion RPG, Instagram, there's photos, all that kind of stuff. And then tomorrow, as I alluded to, we play D&D at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Courts of Everest.
It's just a
Excuse me. Kara's going to be there. Matt won't be there because he's doing wedding stuff, but a number of our other friends are going to be joining us, and you can check that out at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have so many cool projects that are coming up. You're going to see sometime in September, likely, a game show that is going to be called Ace of Roses. It is in the Starfinder rule system, and it's going to be something unlike anything that anybody has ever seen. You're going to see in, what's after September? October, we're playing another Humblewood one-shot. In November, there's going to be the second edition of Feast of the Noble Vale. In December, there's a one-shot based on the backstory of one of our Campaign 1 characters, Brenna, called Axe, Wolf, and Woe. And then in January, we're going to be jumping into some Fallout Black Heart of Texas, which is a original one-shot, or original 4 to 5 part game that is going to be set in the Fallout universe in Texas. We're going to be examining a lot of West Tech, a lot of Poseidon Energy, and a couple of other fun things. All of that is coming up in the future, and we'll see you there, I guess. And with that, it's time for this week's session of Mosaic Team 5.
Character who's
Mosaic
based
Team 5.
on the daughter of the bagman.
Last we played, yes. Gibbs punctured the seal of a chemical weapon while tinkering, causing the hangar that all of you occupied to begin to fill with gas. The party raced to the rescue, but with some quick thinking, Gibbs, you stuffed this weapon into your Starfinder backpack, the extra-dimensional space instantly taking the bulk of the poison on. You then took your starship out into space and aired your belongings to the void, finding many of your items and rations poisoned and non-usable. With crisis averted, to a lesser degree, you all boarded your ships and made for the nitroglycerin fields, where hunks of the volatile compound were frozen in a dangerous obstacle course, which you were destined to engage in a dogfight/race in. Before the final round of this lockout tournament, Ishashi, the leader of the Vesk faction that resides within the Warvok Shorn district of the Zin Crawler, reached out to Shade and told him that they would not tolerate the underhanded tactics that had been planned against Mosaic Team 5. They had disabled turrets put in place to target you as you passed. This would be an honorable match. With that, you agreed to put the captain's ship on the line for this combat, with the losing team having to forfeit one of the more technologically advanced craft to the winner. Echo and Shade focused on scoring, pushing their craft ahead to complete an early scoring lap. Bubbles, Spice, and Gibbs... I'm going to turn the music down just a second. Bubbles, Spice, and Gibbs engaged in combat around the opposing team's scoring zone before racing back to train guns upon enemy craft. Gibbs, you found yourself holding the center of the battlefield, Tiny Paws scrambling across the controls, but scoring at least one devastating blow, and using your own gaseous abilities, though with questionable effect this time. Bubbles, your ship found itself lined up by a firing squad of Vesk, and was pummeled by twin particle cannons in a firing line that saw your ship's power core neatly trimmed out, and you were set adrift through the frozen nitroglycerin field, though on the Goldilocks path that saw you cruise control through the entire course, and even get a pot shot off along the way. But it was your Lashunta envoy Spice, not only landing a critical hit using Shade's targeting uplink, but also with their craft already disabled by opposing Captain Ashashi, fired a stream of chain cannon fire towards a frozen hunk of nitroglycerin, igniting a massive explosion that scorched the shields off of 3 out of 5 Vesk ships, along with disabling Ashashi's craft. This was not, of course, without issue, as Spice's ship was totally lost in the blast, Spice themselves dropping to 0 HP, floating lifelessly for a moment in space. But at this moment, your androids came back from the far side of the race and delivered final devastating volleys to knock out the shieldless craft, and when the debris settled, Mosaic Team 5, you emerged victorious. Gibbs, you... technically victorious. Gibbs, you scooped up Spice's nearly lifeless body, and your Ishtangi compatriot Godfrey scooped up Bubbles' ship and returned to the surprisingly still Zin crawler. When you returned, Clerical Guardian Hultex informed you that a car awaited all of you. You planned, sensing an ambush, and decided to split into 2 teams. One with Shade and Spice, with Spice being the Carbon Cartel's primary target, joining the driver on this craft and making their way slowly across the rest of this space station to their eventual destination, Hardcore Henry's compound. Bubbles, Echo, and Gibbs, the 3 of you have formed a second team, and this team has decided to counter-infiltrate Hardcore Henry's compound and spring an ambush on those that would ambush you. And as the car pulls away off in the distance, Echo, you the closest of all of these, seeing the headlights kick into action and then the car actually lift to a hover about a foot off the ground and begin to almost silently make its way. That is where it begins.
I emptied all of the junk in my pockets.
You don't have a lot of junk.
Echo, quickly, pokes their head back around inside the door. I will tail the vehicle. And tails the vehicle.
Echo,
Yes.
you make your way out and
Stealthily.
make a stealth check.
I don't want to be seen tailing the vehicle. 34.
Very easy, and especially easy for you because you don't need to use your full speed. This is a very slow traveling car. You can see it sort of just pulls away, and even as you make your way out, still easily within reach, you continue to follow using the elements of shadow cast in the surprisingly still streets of the Warvox Shorn to your advantage. It seems quiet. Much of the noise and fervor of the tournament has largely died down. And Echo, you check your communicator because it seems almost impossibly quiet, but it is 2 in the afternoon. Quiet is a relative term. You do hear air conditioning, you do hear condenser coils rattling, the faint hum of electricity remains, but as you are walking, you pass the decaying uplifted bear, now covered mercifully in a tarp, seemed to be made with torn trash bags. The car rounds the corner. Are you going to continue to follow?
Echo plans to, tail it, either in a parallel manner or, just a couple steps behind, all the way there.
No problem. What are the other 2 doing?
Gibbs, so our plan is we're gonna kind of sneak in there, and I can use my jetpack and I can carry you.
Your jetpack's loud though. What? So
Well, in space there's no sound.
but in the atmosphere of the Zen crawler,
There's no atmosphere in that Zen crawler if we're gonna go outside of it to break in.
cool. that sounds good. Here's my other thought, right? So in the compound probably is cuttlefish too.
But Shade said that we're supposed to stick to the plan and cause a disturbance.
Right, but what would be a bigger disturbance if we stole the one thing that they really, really want?
Well,
Is that good?
I don't think that really adds up. I mean, I don't even know if the people where they're going to be guarding, like, you know, like the bar and like all like the valuable, like, you know, like leaders and stuff like that. Like, I don't think they're gonna be in the area where, like, you know, their like tech is, you know.
Do you think? Okay, so you think we
That's
should do
like-
the same thing we
At
did?
this, you do have Clerical Guardian Hultex who is there with you, and they would turn. You can see lights kind of flash across their face and the various augmented parts, and they would turn and they would say, "Information. There has been a large number of departures from the Zin Crawler in the last 35 minutes. It would appear that many high-ranking members of the Carbon Cartel have left, along with other members of the Vesk.
The city is preparing for a fight, so maybe targeting a bar is not going to be helpful.
Are they preparing for a fight, or are they evacuating because the race is over?
They look at you, and there's a moment where the lights flash, and you can almost sense that there are like calculations that are happening within the augmented brain. But after a moment, they would say, "Clarification. The data is incomplete. There are multiple ships that have departed almost at once. This would indicate an evacuation or other plan."
Evacuation? Is something gonna, you know, bad happen? People usually evacuate when bad things happen.
Patient response. It is likely that something bad will happen here.
We are the bad thing that's going to happen.
Well, sometimes there can be multiple bad things that happen. Like, you ever, like, you know, have your shoelaces touch, like, the bottom of a bathroom floor, and then you're like, oh, well, now I have to get rid of my shoe and the
Urgent
laces.
query. How long will your friends last against all of Hardcore Henry's compound?
And Cold Brew knew that a fight was coming. There's underground messages happening. So our options are to blow up random things and hope they care about one of them, or storm the compound and think about the thing that we know that they care about.
Well, hold on. Maybe there's a way we could do both. Huel Tech, do you think it's possible that the designated item known as cuttlefish could possibly be in their, you know, shipyard or ship repair bay? Because, I mean, if they're going to be evacuating from places like that, then maybe if we can shut off their evacuation place and steal the cuttlefish, that could be an option.
You can see they consider this for a moment, and then they say, "It is unlikely that this valuable prototype would be unguarded. However, the idea is not without merit."
Do you know where it is? It is kind of a techie thing. I'm a squid in it.
Make a sense motive check then.
Yeah, gladly. Sense motive. 15 plus 7 is 22.
22.
22. Okay, so you look at them, and as you do, they take a breath, and you're not really sure what that means. There is a reaction that you get out of that, but it's lost upon Gibbs what that might be. They say, "Patient response. Not all technology is something that I am in contact with at all times."
All right. So, I have a bunch of grenades. We have a map of the place. Do you want to go somewhere else, or do you want to start scoping the place out where our friends are going to be and see if they're dying in the street?
Well, they're not going to be dying on the street. They're in a car going
To here, right?
Yeah, I think they're bypassing the streets to get to the place, but
Dying in this vague parking lot.
yeah, well, they're not gonna die at all. You know that we can't think like that. Okay, we gotta be positive. I think what we should do is maybe, I don't know, maybe we could go through the cargo bay exit. Maybe if the ships are leaving from there, we might be able to get in there easily if there's a lot of traffic.
Do you mean the garage exit, or you mean the cargo? Okay.
I believe does the garage have a cargo bay? I can't see
Yeah,
that.
so like on the blueprint, it's kind of against it's opposite where all of your bay is. It's almost probably a very similar structure. it opens to the exterior of the crawler, and similar to how you all take your ships out, they can take their ships.
And
in
this
out
is
as well.
not like open air, right? This is in, or is
Yeah,
it?
so it's in. You haven't really seen it, and so you're not 1,000% sure. But much like all the other structures here, it is kind of a maze or conglomeration of modular parts that have been built into like almost like a little compound or a fortress on what at one point was probably like a landing bay.
Okay.
You can see there's something that's labeled the Hard Light Bridge, and you remember that was kind of something went over a large, almost canyon that is used for ventilation and the exchange of air and a couple of other things.
Okay.
Echo would know more about it, but Echo is not with you.
Cool. Are we ready to mobilize? Everyone else is mobilizing.
Gibbs, I'm looking at the map that Hultech gave us. I think maybe we can compromise our plans. We can look for cuttlefish, but also create a big stink for them.
I love stinky things.
Yeah, well,
That sounds great. Let's do that.
I'm using it more as like a negative term, but hey, to each their own. There says right here there's a generator right next to the garage. If we go through the garage, or maybe even if we make a hole through, this area, we could knock out the generator and get inside that hole we make. You have that time edge ability, right?
Absolutely. And I have all of these grenades.
Well, okay, well, it's not like, juggle them in the air or something.
Hold on, you should have...
all against each other, yeah, for sure.
And I'm holding them definitely by the pins.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Bubba's like, no. He's like,
Can I
grab-
give you a bunch? Because you're good at them.
Yeah, I'll take a couple.
Here.
You can see from like 10 feet further back now, Hultech's like has taken a little bit of space between you.
I'll give you 2 shrapnel grenades and 2 frag grenades. Splitting it basically in half.
If you wish to shut down the power generator, it would be most expedient to do it from the maintenance level.
Maintenance level. Is this not all one level?
That is all one level, but it is not the maintenance deck.
Do you know how far deep in the generator is? We have... Gibbs has this ability where they can shoot through metal and possibly even destroy it from the outside.
Query. What density of concrete can your ability
That's a good
penetrate?
What's the HP of concrete? Query, what's the HP of...
When we did Prime Station, you definitely shot it through walls.
Well, it's I do damage to each quadrant, but times edge. Oh, it's probably
You can do it multiple times too.
that's true. I can, but it is
Turns
a lot.
and says, these structures are deep within the Zen crawler and would likely be shielded in some way.
And also it's
However,
a straight
if you
line.
get close enough, it is certainly possible.
It's also I would have to shoot it exact. So from the outside, that's a difficult shot. If I'm 5 feet off or 5 feet the other way, if I can't see it, it's really hard to do.
Reminder, the generator shares a... what would the word be?
Grid?
Shares a grid
Yeah, or a line.
with oxygen exchange. Damaging one may be possible without damaging the other, but unlikely.
I thought the whole Zen had its own oxygen. Okay.
But that's the generator just for this area, or that's the generator for all Zen Crawler?
That is the generator for Hardcore Henry's compound and the 4 adjoining lots.
Okay. Well, when we get closer, I know I can find out where Hardcore Henry is, too.
Okay.
That is information that's helpful to us.
Okay.
It's 10d6 slashing damage to all creatures and objects in an area. I don't know, how much is that against concrete?
That would certainly do it, but it diminishes kind of as it's going through stuff, you would imagine, especially because it's more of a density thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll work. You just need to be close enough and you need to hit it.
This sounds risky now.
Yeah,
You're
it
taking
is.
out oxygen. I say we just try to find an entrance in, and we just
Cool.
try to create havoc and look for the cuttlefish while we're in there. I think this is probably our best bet in the garage.
I think we do the garage, and then I think we look for cuttlefish, and then I can target Hardcore Henry, and if we have to divide and conquer, we do, but also prioritize our friends. So let's just do it all, and it'll work, right? I would like to go stealthily on your back, and I'm going to screw my fishbowl in,
Okay.
because if I do take out the oxygen,
Yeah.
I need that to breathe.
It's important to breathe.
Yeah.
Well, depends on who you are. So you put your oxygen mask on, such as it is, And you, excuse me.
Before we leave, I'm gonna just tell Gibbs. Gibbs, turn on your not morphic suit.
Oh, my
What's the other one
glamour
for
projection?
Yeah, glamour projection. Try to make it match like the darkness of space.
Ooh, I saw that. Did I see the guy with the Yosoki driving the thing?
Driving which thing?
The Yosoki driving
Zamboni.
our friends away. What? It was a little old Yosoki.
Yeah.
Can I be him?
Yeah, you can. You can.
help?
His shape is a little different than
darkness of
yours.
space first.
But you
you
certainly
can
could.
change later.
Okay. First, I look like a dark. I just black morph suit, and my little ears go whoop into like the little like condom head.
Yeah. Okay, sure. So you're wearing a helmet already, but no problem. You also have the morphic suit over top, and you're going out into the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. You go over to the entryway, and you.
I'm also before I'm gonna tie a rope around fishing line. Me and Gibbs.
Okay. You secure yourself to Gibbs, a move that has really just become part of your regular operating procedure.
Seatbelt in.
Yeah. And you open the
not down
door.
Main
There
Street.
is that brief of oxygen. And with the sort of being tied together,
Yep.
certainly helps. There is a moment where Gibbs kind of swivels around your body and is now on the exterior, but no problem. You can maintain a grip and you can kind of make your way
My
along.
oxygen tourniquet thing on.
Yeah. So one thing, as you kind of gaze across the side of the space station, this is just kind of like raw steel, and there are handholds designed for maintenance work here and there. You actually see a couple of different like devices and things like that, but there isn't any indication of where you are going or like entryways. So where are you trying to get to from the external part here? The
Garage.
only place that's open is the spine. That is the place where you guys can kind of land or get into.
So if we're on the outside of the Zen crawler,
Yeah.
We want to go to the tail. That's where this is.
we want to go to the tail.
Okay.
Would it be helpful for us to know coordinates now?
It's not going to be exact coordinates because space is like moving, and also the Zen crawler is moving, so it's not like a relative coordinates.
No coordinates would.
It tracks.
Yeah, but known coordinates. Yes, I thought you meant like actual like computer calcularized coordinates.
Hold on. It doesn't track. Status tracks. I learn their exact location, but I only learn it once. I can attach it to a computer and then use those coordinates, but like it doesn't update as the person moves.
So consider what you want to do.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Echo, you follow this car up above. And walking past, you can see it kind of moves off and in the direction of the overall sort of place. You do walk past as you turn onto a larger street of the Warvok Shorn. Though it is markedly less abandoned than the place that you just left, you kind of turn, and as you round the corner, you see just that dead bear. There is one or two people here. You see a yellow-green scaled vest wearing a dirty orange poncho over freebooter armor. And as they sort of like walk around, you can see they're looking over their shoulder. They don't see you, but there is a point where they pass another vest, and they both kind of just nod to each other, but continue hurriedly along their way. And that's relatively uncommon. You're also not seeing a whole lot of traffic. These stores, as you pass them, are all closed. And at 2 p.m., that's also really never happening. This is repeated as you go. You see people mostly averting their eyes from each other, crossing the street to avoid kind of like intersecting. There is an anxiety that is palpable out here. But you keep track of this car, no problem.
So, like, some people got an APB that we did not get.
Make a sense motive check. There's something about this that feels...
21.
No, I can't do that either.
With the 21, it feels just like there's something going on.
Just feels bad, man.
It really does. And, you know, this is a place that you're very familiar with. You know that there are places that people can go and hide. There are the aforementioned maintenance decks, although really hard to access. People with the know-how use them for things. You actually know that there is a vendor named Sal Snails who just dumps all of his used oil into the maintenance deck. And, like, no clue where that's going. But he's been doing it for years. There are...
Echo assumed that the oil that we found in the, like, Isoki area, that whatever the fiery Fiery lady.
Cindy.
Cindy!
Yeah, the blood
That
rock.
Cindy was like soaking in. That's where the oil went.
But there's a lot of like little nooks and crannies. There are places that are sealed off from the original architecture. There are in between decks that are kind of these interstitial spaces that are designed to be really crumple zones if the Zen crawler should fall, things like that. So people have places that they can escape to. It doesn't quite feel like that. It's emptier, noticeably emptier. But with a 21, hard to tell why.
Has this happened since like Echo has been to the Zen Crawler?
Echo, you bet if you had rolled just a little higher,
I would know.
you would have a little bit more historical context.
Sweet.
But this eluding you at the moment.
I'm focused elsewhere.
I would say this hasn't happened since you've been here.
Yeah.
But you would imagine there may have been other events that have occurred on the Zen Crawler that would have had a similar sort of
Bloody Tuesday or whatever.
perhaps. But Gibbs is not there.
Cool. Echo's gonna. It's moving real slow, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you can kind of see like.
is Echo like walking or jogging?
Oh, walking. For Echo,
shit.
walking. Yeah. Yeah, you're walking.
It's like the Olympics speed walking.
If they were truly just headed directly to Hardcore Henry's, then Echo assumes they would be going faster. This can't just be like the driver's old and he's going slow.
It could be.
With the 21.
He did speak in the
It is less that the driver's slow and more that there are like the alleyways are very narrow. This is not a place designed for cars. The fact that people use cars here is actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they're doing that, this is all part of some kind of there's gamesmanship happening right now.
Right.
This is like an intimidation tactic more than anything. What that might mean, you're not really sure. But the path that they do take is the most expedient one to Hardcore Henry's.
Okay.
It's just not going super fast.
As they're going along, Echo's kind of like looking up at the like buildings and whatnot to like looking for sniper points and seeing if there's like potential like blockades that might
Make a
stop
perception
the
check.
car. Okay, we're doing better as we go along. That's going to be a 28.
As you progress through the Warvok Shorn, and you can see just beyond where the regular kind of pitted steel decks become truly rusty and what is known as the Bloodwalk, up in the top left, where there is sort of a second layer and a little handrail, a banner has been hung, and in spray paint that is still kind of dripping down, it's just barely tacky. It reads Vesk Rule, Peon Wraiths. There is a part that has been torn away from that. That kind of flutters, and you hear the fabric. It's loud in the silence that is here. You don't see any snipers. You would notice there are a few stores that have a noticeable lack of inventory. Mm-hmm. Not noticeable like they sold really well, noticeable like people upped and packed and left.
Yeah.
You're thinking about the fact that credits have been out for a little bit. There's some things that maybe are kind of adding up on the edges of your mind, but you don't see any snipers. You don't see anybody from the Carbon Cartel. I would say you see fewer people than normal from the Carbon Cartel. Nobody's walking the streets. But as you get to the Bloodwalk, you do reach a point where you would know there is an access to the maintenance decks. Right next to it, there is you see actually leaving it right now, a Skittermander who is pushing a hover hand cart laden with stainless steel crates marked cheese, crackers, grapes, and human grapes. But there is a red and yellow Wham Zim logo plastered across the massive secure door that just shut right behind him. You see the Skittermander who just kind of is whistling and pushing this stuff along, but they do look a little nervous at the side of their eyes, even though this is a place where they are probably safer than anywhere else in the galaxy.
Yeah.
You can see the white-hued blue fur along their back and arms is a little bit kind of prickly with anxiety. But they kind of make their way off and in the same direction as the car. They fall behind by a little bit, but as you continue on, you make your way further and further across the Bloodwalk. There are a few Yosoki here. You notice with that check, more than anything else, a lot of little glowing green eyes that are sort of just in the periphery here and there, and you recognize these little rat robots that are used for observation. Many more of them than Yosoki or other folk. And you watch as the car trails its way to a much nicer section of the Zen Crawler. And this is where you first start to begin to see Carbon Cartel. And they reach a point where there is a barricade that has another one of these kind of black, almost limo-like cars. There are a number of other Carbon Cartel members that have kind of set up a blockade here, and you can hear the brakes squeal to a stop as they are forced to stop. The window goes down, and from maybe like 50 feet away, you can kind of see this conversation happening with your ears, actually, and your echolocative ears especially, should you choose to turn them up.
Of course.
You can hear them just kind of say, and it's the driver himself who just goes, yeah, no, one last job they got me for, then I'm headed out of here, but it's the package. You know the one. You can see the two sort of henchmen, faceless, enforcer-like masks, kind of turn to each other, and though they can't see each other, you get the sense that there is some kind of similar to you and Shade, like a whisper comm that is exchanged. Then you can see they nod, and they stand aside, and that car continues.
While they're stopped at the gate, Echo would want to, like, sneak up behind and kind of just, like, grab onto the back of the car.
Nice.
Like, so that they can just go in with the car.
So right now,
Is that a possibility?
it would be really hard. We're looking at, what is your stealth modifier?
My stealth modifier? It's a 20.
Can you underneath the
It
car?
would, so you get the sense this is set up in such a way that the blood walk, where it becomes all stained, there is a sharp delineation point that then becomes the diamond deck. And there is purposefully, you would imagine, and you encountered this before when you had tried to get in here, a span of space that is just empty. There is no storage containers. It would be really hard to sneak across, and looking at this barricade in front of you, kind of looking down the line and seeing some lights that would indicate maybe another one further down, it seems like it was left that way to make it hard to sneak across. It would be nearly impossible. You'd be crossing an open distance to like grab a car, and then as you go past, they would be looking directly at you. So you would need to get under the car. It's possible, but I would say you run the risk of basic execution, because there's enough people around that this would be a bad idea.
But there's no other way to get to the diamond deck.
No other way on the surface. You can go in from the exterior. I would say, Echo, you know that through the maintenance decks, there are 6 lifts that go up on the diamond deck proper. You know that you would need to go across a few that go to other places, but
Echo wants to zip back to where they saw the Whamzim employee.
you actually don't need to go that far because they're following the car as well. They're slower than you even walking. So they're just kind of whistling along, but yeah, no problem. You zip back.
And they're just going to follow them.
Okay. You watch as they make their way over, and they turn. They don't make their way to the diamond deck. They begin to head in the direction of the spine. I'm going to continue to follow.
Whamzim has like little access points, right? And
They do.
I would be able to access them if Shade trusted me enough with the card.
That's true.
You hack it.
No. So Echo's going to just kind of continue to follow them with the hope that they lead them
To an access
to
point?
an access point.
Okay. Give me just 1 second. And meanwhile, you two, have you figured out what you would like
Yeah,
to do?
before we leave, could I just ask Hultech, since he did give us this map,
Sure.
Hultech, is there any way you could like put the location of this and match it up to a graphical display in my helmet? Or like on my infosphere? My comm.
Query. Does your communicator not have a camera?
Yeah, it does.
Do you want the GPS dot though?
yeah.
He wants the GPS dot. You know, like when you've got your phone up and you don't know where the closest restaurant is, and you type it in and
it
it
can be-
shows you a little thing. Sometimes he can pull that up in 3D space and see us on the map.
Or if I have a camera, whatever you're suggesting with that could also work.
I can create a 3-dimensional map if that would be helpful to you.
Yeah, and I could follow it from the outside, and I could just follow it.
He goes ahead, he nods, and takes out from his pocket the sort of, like a data chip.
Yeah.
He looks at you again, and then that kind of disappears into his hand. Not like he does some kind of sleight of hand, but there's a little compartment that opens up and it just sinks in, almost like an SD card.
Nice.
You can see the lights flash for just a moment, and then it pops out, and he holds the hand out to you to take it.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay. If you load that into your communicator, it's the exact same thing, but with 3 dimensions.
Nice.
You would note in this, the villa... Oh, give me 1 second here, actually.
All right, so now we know how to get to this place.
That's not what he did. All he did was make this like, this building's now 10 inches. This building's now... He didn't show you how to get here where you are relative to it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want what you were suggesting. But,
I know,
yeah.
but then you said or a camera, and that's
I mean,
fine.
I'm open to both. Is what
Right.
I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I just
But he
want,
didn't match this up with coordinates,
Yeah.
from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and give me 1 second here. Let me find
yeah. Upon seeing this, Bub is going to be like, "Oh, I was kind of looking for what more Gibbs was saying."
coordinates.
Yeah.
So, pause. I'm having trouble understanding what you guys want.
So, like,
They want Google Maps.
Yeah, we want to be able to find the exterior of this on the exterior. of
That's
the
not... You can do that.
Okay.
That's easy enough to do. It's like an opening along the side. You would just need to kind of find it.
Okay.
It's a timing thing, though. So that's just really like a perception check to find the actual door.
Mm-hmm.
You know that it's roughly on like the hind quarter of the Zin crawler because that's
okay.
like in the
I
direction
thought we
of it.
didn't know where it was.
yeah, I don't know.
The bigger thing is you don't know where the generator is. You have a rough idea, but you don't know in 3 dimensions where it is.
Yeah, the generator is an optional.
Okay.
We just want to get in there first, I think.
Sure.
So, okay, my plan is I can't track Hardcore Henry, but I can track Spice and the car that is heading towards that direction.
Yep.
So if we time it right, then like we can like know that like the big gaping hole is generally relative to where Spice is, probably is like, you know, common sense the place we want to be, hopefully.
Okay.
So our plan is to leave.
Yeah, I think
And
we
just
we
jump-
So
know
just
what it is.
to be clear, your plan is to hope that once you get to the exterior, you'll be able to get to the interior through this armored door.
we were
that
gonna
is-
time edge in.
Well, Time Edge is not sneaky.
Right.
I thought we were team destruction.
That's true.
Yeah, I thought.
Do I know about these maintenance hatches?
No.
Yeah, I haven't been paying
I
attention.
thought we talked about this last game.
You
for
have been
maintenance access,
told that they exist, but you don't really know where they are or what they are.
Right, and we have no friends anymore, and I have no junk in my pocket. So yeah, you know what? Our plan's great. Let's
I mean,
do it.
I don't know-
Armored
I
door. We're gonna time edge it down. Yeah.
I don't know any other. Bubs is good at breaking down doors. So
Yeah,
you
let's
think
get to the outside and then we remake the plan. The plan now really is mole style though. Let's
Yeah,
be
no,
honest.
pretty much. Yeah.
Great.
You just need to create the tunnel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to be the mole that
Yeah.
Yes. You need
burrows
to
my
dig.
way. Yeah.
So you're trying to times edge your way in below this place, like into the actual maintenance decks proper.
No. So this door
Yes.
is level 1, right?
Yeah.
So
I believe so.
Sure, it's technically kind of closer to the very top, and then there's much more
So
stuff.
like
beneath
ground
it.
level and then maintenance deck with generator is what you're telling us, right?
So I would say with the 3D map that Hultex gives you, you would see that there is approximately 800 feet between maintenance deck 1, which is the one that is directly below Hardcore Henry's compound and everything, and the compound proper. So it's about 800 feet. Yeah.
800 feet between ground floor and maintenance 1.
There is 88 stories of stairs on the Pilgrim Staircase, and that is one of the ways that you can get up and into the station from the bottom. So that's foot to like the gut of the Zen crawler, and then that's honestly higher than most parts. But then the space station itself is pretty large. So I mean, the whole thing is probably consisting, if you were to think about it as stories, as something akin to a 220-story structure. And so, yes, you could times edge your way in. You would, based on the map that you're seeing, along the edge of Hardcore Henry's compound that separates it from the rest of the diamond deck, there's a huge gap. And this goes down and down and down, hundreds of feet to the maintenance levels of the Zen crawler. And from there, lifts can kind of go up and down. The generator is below maintenance deck 1 somewhere, so you would need to get to maintenance deck and then use times edge, or while plummeting those 800 feet, you could, in theory, I guess, times edge from 200 feet up.
Wait, what if we just fall in the hole that's here?
Yeah.
And then we just find a door into the
Yeah,
abyss.
yeah,
Like
that
we'll
works.
find a garbage chute.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go this side or this side?
Are you going to Cloud City it?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
And
Star Wars.
oh my god,
John's gonna be
so
so
mad at me.
John! Damn, John. John, if you want me to say something about this at the wedding, let me know, because that's totally valid.
I keep ending my one-on-ones being like, "May the force be with you,"
Wow.
and I'm
That's-
such a poser.
Yeah,
That
for
is
real.
that's
I'm a cool,
blasphemy.
relatable manager, guys.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So we have an option of 2 places. Continue what you were saying, Gibbs.
Yeah, so like we can just fall and find a door, right? Because I don't know where a door is on the alleyway that we're walking by.
Yeah, that works for me. I mean,
Are you having this conversation before you leave?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at that, Hueltech would say, suggestion,
Yeah.
access the maintenance hatch from a safer location and work your way in from there.
Can you tell us where one is?
Yes.
Great.
You can see on your map a little point pops up. And it would be not terribly far off from where Echo saw that Wham Zim door.
Nice. And so we can get to maintenance floor 1,
And then we would
take
have
out
to
the generator.
take out
Correction.
the generator
The maintenance hatch will take you to maintenance floor 2.
Okay, hatch to floor 2, and then what?
then we take the lifts to floor
And
1.
then we take the lifts to floor 1. But, floor 2 might be closer to where this generator is. So we look around there.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
You must be cautious. There are dangerous things in the maintenance levels. They are not well maintained.
That's shitty for a maintenance level, but that's okay. Get it?
Query. Do you understand the original purpose of the Zen crawler?
Yeah,
No.
it's supposed to stay within the sunlight of or something like that.
But why
and keep
build a
moving
city like that?
Incorrect. It was not a city. A long time ago, this was USR, Waystation Frognot, and it was a mining platform.
What were they mining?
Query. Will this help you get your friends and proceed along our mission?
No, but I'd love to hear this story later. So, anyways, good talking. Thanks for the patch. That's helpful.
Yeah, I think we can go there. I think we're ready.
Yeah. And we got all of the tools at our disposal, and
Yeah.
we're all good, and we're ready to go, and we both know what we're doing.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay.
I love a hatch patch.
Yeah, that was good. So you change your plans multiple times, but eventually you get
Fuel
good.
text
I
is
also
like,
like
"Here
I also
you
like
go."
that you guys had a week to plan this.
We literally texted not at all.
I know. But no worries. So you all make your way off and in the direction where Hueltech showed you the maintenance hatch. Echo, you follow this Whamsim employee. You can hear this little... he passes like 1 or 2 people, but similar, they kind of pass him. For him, it's not super unusual to have this kind of like deference. People don't want to really bump into him. They're definitely all kind of avoiding each other, though.
Yeah.
He seems a little bit oblivious to it, but makes his way off and in the direction of the shipyard of Sin. Give me 1 second here. You do pass Godfrey's garage, and you can see the light is on. Godfrey is there. There are sparks flying off the floor, and they seem to be working on something. You would pass in the distance, although not directly, the Liberteca, and you can see this is fully glowing now. The previous sort of stainless steel cutouts that would show the various logos of who you would imagine are maybe corporate sponsors or something of that nature are now all glowing and illuminated from within. And you can see outside there is a massive robot of titanium and sleek Castrovellian oak that is currently wielding this massive sort of almost like a baton, although you can see that there are gears, levers, and pistons that probably would amplify the amount of damage it could do. But this is like a military-grade siege weapon that is standing guard outside. And there are a number of other clerical guardians that are sort of joining that entourage. It's very much like a military garrison now. You haven't seen that before. When you get to the shipyard of Sin, it is closed, and that doesn't happen. But you do see that one of the bartenders is in, a human that you would know is named Gordon. And you can see as the Wham Zim person kind of pulls up, you see Gordon look from behind the bar, nod, and kind of like run over to the door. He opens the door for this Wham Zim guy. Are you walking in? Okay.
Whamsim guy is obviously making a delivery. He's going to the delivery, not from the maintenance.
He has all the stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
You can see the door opens and he just goes, "Hey, Gary, sorry, it's last shipment and I gotta get out of here, right?" And the little bell dings and he walks in. Door shuts behind him.
Echo's gonna go to where they know the Whamsim door to be from the discussion with the weapons guy.
Okay. You make your way back in that direction.
Quickly.
Sure. No, sorry, are you going to the one that they're going to, or the... There's several Whamsim access points.
Echo was told about one
Okay.
when they were getting their Dashakari.
Yeah, that's a different one.
That's where
you can-
that's where Echo would head, because that's the one they know exists.
So you go to the Vesk Armory. The Vesk Armory is also quite closed. And as you get there, you do see that there is this Whamsim door that is outside of it, almost parallel to the regular door. What are you doing?
Is there a way to hack into it? I don't have the card.
Big computers check, yeah.
I believe in you.
Gonna look for countermeasures first. So that's a 24.
Okay. So you get close, and as you interface with this, it is a nice, clean interface. It's well built. It's not... You speak Vesk?
Yes.
Okay, so actually, you fully are fluent in the code that is being used here, and that makes it even easier. It's a little chaotic in its architecture. It's different than the kind of coding you're used to. But after taking a breath and really kind of settling into it, easy enough. It's almost suspiciously clean. But you find no problems.
Great. Echo's just gonna try and open the door.
Sure. Make a fortitude save and throw.
Love it. So happy.
Suspiciously clean.
Bye all. Goodbye all.
Oh no.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
It's not bad.
I got a natural 1.
Ooh.
You do take 21 points of electric damage.
Okay,
As
that's
it
fine.
jolts through you, and there is a surge, and then at the very last second, there is a and you see the screen just fry on the interface. And you have probably made this a harder lock.
We get different door.
Mole style.
Different door.
I have a disintegrator pistol.
Yeah,
Could I shoot the door?
again.
I'm gonna try and shoot the door.
Sure.
When stealth doesn't work, just go
Roll
in guns
damage.
blazing. Just damage. Okay.
It's a door. You're not,
I
you
didn't
don't
know
have
if I
roll
had to
hit it.
clear a
Are
thing.
you aiming at a specific spot?
Oh,
on
I
the
had
door,
still a
or just-
D20.
You do imagine, though, that there is a damage threshold. It's a pretty well armored door.
That is going to be 26 points.
26 points of damage, no
You roll a
problem.
D20.
So you look to the left, you look to the right, you pull, you fire,
Never
and
done
it
that
just,
before in my life.
disintegrating thing is so funny because
That's
it could be so
crazy.
low or so high, but it just rips through the door, and you watch as the metal just crumbles in front of you and just becomes carbon on the ground and falls away. The paint flecks off where it doesn't get disintegrated rapidly and just falls into tiny little chips on the side, and it is like there is black, red, and yellow snow just all down in front of your legs, on your feet. And in front of you, you can see this narrow alleyway. There is a dumpster that has a whole bunch of broken down bits of cardboard and Vesk writing that primarily says Whamsim, although you recognize Veskarium Armory, which is a Vesk-based weapons manufacturer. You see a number of boxes that have Vesk 1 and Vesk 2 as their origins. You also see there is like a old wooden door wedge jammed into a side entrance to the armory, and it's open. The door itself is not locked or secured, and so you can actually enter the Vesk Armory through this rear door. It seems to be kind of like a delivery point. You can see next to that there is this kind of like steel shutter that has been rolled down, and that could be lifted up, and you see the edge of a conveyor belt off of it, so maybe to move larger items in, this could be used. But this is the delivery entrance for the Vesk Armory.
Right.
There is no further tunnels here. This doesn't connect to the larger network of Whamsim.
That sucks.
This is, again, so there is a number of passages that connect to other passages. There are also just shipping entrances.
Yep.
And you're getting the sense that a lot of places that you thought were connected are really just shipping entrances. That being said, you are inside now, and you look behind you. The door is still kind of dripping in places. It's not a door that's going to be closed.
This is like in the airport where they have shipping luggage and stuff, except you're the lost luggage in this point.
Yeah.
I had such a good plan at the beginning of this, guys. I was just gonna follow the car in and sneak
Team
through.
improv plan.
Yeah. We got there with an NPC's help.
Yeah.
I thought I had a plan. Now I have no plan.
You saw the Whamzam door near the diamond deck from that guy leaving. Why don't you go to that Whamzam door? You saw it this session.
It
Yeah.
was the one that the guy was leaving.
The guy
to
was
bring
leaving,
the ship.
but it was
might as well
near
just-
the
Oh,
car.
wait, I saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw him come out.
But it was
He
very
pushing the
guarded.
cart, and then he shut the door.
I didn't realize that I saw him come out of a door. I just thought I saw him.
No. You
That's
saw
how
him come
you
out of the
introduced
door.
Fuck, I
open
would've
the door,
done
shut
that.
the door.
I was shocked you didn't, but I wasn't going to say anything.
So after this, you're like, okay, there's one more door that's closed.
That's the one
Keep
that's
running
super
right
guarded,
back.
though, I believe, right?
It's not super guarded. No.
Okay.
So it's very secure, just like
still
this
on the
door.
blood
It's a blast door. It's right on the edge between the Bloodwalk and the Warbuck Shore.
I thought you didn't go to that one because it was super guarded.
No, I didn't go to that because I
I-
didn't hear it.
Sorry.
Echo, you think about it, and like
Right,
that's
sorry,
where the
you
shipments
know.
are coming from. Probably connected to a place where the shipments come in. Probably a larger network.
Echo is just very glad that nobody is here to see them, and they understand now why Shay didn't trust them with the keycard.
So you make your
You didn't
way
need it anyways.
to this door, and as luck would have it, all of you converge on the general area. There are two entrances that are almost opposite each other. There is the Whamzim door, and then opposite that, there is this door that is marked for both of you. The Whamzim door goes to maintenance deck 1. This more open door that is, it's a smaller door that is, give me 1 second here. So the other door is a little bit smaller. It's only about 3 feet wide. This is something that looks more sized for like a Ysoki, perhaps. It is computer locked, but it doesn't have the same kind of blast reinforcement as the Whamzam one. This is something that is a little bit older and probably part of the original structure.
So I like to imagine Gibbs is like subconscious. She can tell like where her friends are and sees Echo just sort of go like dun 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 on the surface, and then like somehow like finds that we're converging but can't see Echo because you're very sneaky and Gibbs is not good at detecting things.
You do have the lifelink.
Yeah, so like I know that she's like generally in my area and on my plane of existence, but he doesn't know like why. So Gibbs is gonna like calm Echo and be like, "Hey, I'm at this hatch
You're
here.
here, but you also hear it from the distance, maybe like 30 feet away.
Gibbs.
There's a parking spot.
Gibbs.
There's a car with blink. Oh!
Blue eyes.
Don't use your communicator.
Well, okay. Should I put it in the microwave? I don't have one, but
No, just do not use it.
I found this door because Hultex told us it was here. We're gonna use this door, I think, and we're gonna go downstairs. And we're just gonna like crawl through.
I also engaged in useful reconnaissance.
Nice.
I learned things.
The door opens in front of you.
The hatch or the ramp
The regular hatch.
Oh.
And you hear crackling from this communicator, or from the actual like computer that had locked the door, the voice of Clerigo Guardian Hultex, who says, "Reminder, my influence on technology ends on this level. This is the last help I can offer you."
Gibbs types into
Computer just dies.
the little like number pad. She finds the words for love, but it's like, you know how you'd have to type it 3 times
Oh
to
yeah,
get
it's a
to
QWERTY,
L?
it's a QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah, she does that
Sure.
really annoyingly while she's
Gibbs.
talking to Echo.
7-0.
Yeah, whatever.
The fuck.
I am inclined to go through the Whamzim door.
We're gonna be on different levels.
I-
I don't know that, but
Your knowledge of the Sin Crawler is infuriating.
okay, bye.
I plan
Oh yeah.
to sneak through and disable the security system of Hardcore Henry's manse.
Hey, we plan to disable the oxygen.
Spice requires oxygen to breathe.
Yeah, but she'll be okay.
No, I don't want to remove the oxygen from Spice's lungs.
We're gonna disable the generator, which may or may not remove the oxygen.
Bubbles.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that all couples desired to remove the oxygen from their partner's lungs.
Oh well, no, that's actually like an old Earth expression about
Anyway.
like taking the I can tell you about it later.
I believe that going via the Whamzim entrance might have a more direct and unmonitored route.
Okay.
However, as you are indeed both better at the...
Destruction?
I was not going
Talking
to say
people?
that.
Chaos.
But yes, destruction. Partying. Loud enjoyment of oneself.
But destruction's 1,600 feet away? We'll have to see. But,
The elevators are not slow.
alright. So are we separating? Or should we come with you? Or...
I believe separating might be for the best, as
okay.
we can create a two-pronged approach.
Okay. Well, then this is our stop.
And I am here.
Best of luck. May the force of nature be with you. And I jump into the hatch. Is it a jump or a...
No, it's a walk.
It's a slide?
It's a walk.
Oh.
Yeah, so like in
Gibbs
front of
Jumps
you-
anyway.
So
Before he jumps, is that... you're attached to me. You can't do that yet.
I just dangle under the lip of this ledge by my fishing line.
I've never heard that
it's not
phrase.
a lot. It's not a ledge.
either.
It's
But
just stairs.
just good luck, Echo. And then Bubs will he'll like pull Gibbs up and then grab onto her and then
Okay.
jetpack.
Walk
Jump down the
stairs.
You clunk down the stairs holding Gibbs. And it's a long and winding staircase. There is not really indicators of levels. You just kind of go and go, and every now and then there is a hatch or a other kind of door. But if you're following this direction, you're going close to like 600 feet down into the actual belly of this beast. As you are walking, Echo, where are you going?
Echo wants to go through the Wham Sim door. They're going to try again.
Okay, go for it.
Countermeasures. That is a 20.
You don't find any countermeasures, but Echo, you get the sense that these doors probably built in a factory somewhere, and so they likely have similar countermeasures.
For sure they do.
Factory doors.
Can you make yourself grounded?
No, I'm just quickly looking to see if I have the thing. There's a hacker thing, and I just need to
You
see.
have like a pen drive that you got on non.
Oh, shit.
Forest Bay. Was it?
So I have elusive hacker. Your hacking skills make your code incredibly difficult for countermeasures to pin down. Whenever you would trigger a system's countermeasures while hacking the system, there's a 50% chance that you manage to elude the countermeasures and it doesn't trigger.
Okay.
Haven't disarmed a countermeasure and it might trigger in the future.
Yeah. Roll a 20-sided die.
Ooh, big money, big money.
Or whatever money Joe has decided.
Evens are good.
Evens are good? Fantastic. That's an 18.
Nice.
No countermeasures. Your
Yay.
hand hovers over the pad, and then you think, wait, I just got electrocuted.
Yeah.
And your hand goes away from the pad. You don't trigger the countermeasure. You know that it's there. You're pretty positive.
Wait, I don't trigger it by not opening the door?
Doesn't it? You just said it just doesn't trigger. It could trigger in the future, right?
No, it's
Isn't that
that.
what
It's
the-
that if she should trigger it, which means she has
Right.
to attempt to
Yeah.
open the door.
I see what
When
you're
she
saying. I see
triggers
what you're
it,
saying.
50%
No problem.
chance of
I just
failure.
like casually avoid it.
Yeah.
So let's let you casually avoid it. With that ability, as you are going into this, and you, I guess, forget that there's this electricity, you begin to access it, and there is a moment where the jolt should hit, and you just happen to draw away. You can smell the electricity in the air. It is hot like iron, but you take no damage.
Echo double clicks but doesn't mean to. And it's like, oh shit. Oh, that worked.
Go ahead and make your computer's check to try to hack into the door. You have so many spaces for the dice to go, but it still always
It
goes in between them.
never hits. It's just too low. So that's a 29.
Okay. With a 29, you were able to bypass the security.
Yay!
And the door kind of lifts. There is a of this air-conditioned air, and you hear, "Welcome back," and it slides open. On the other side of this, there is not stairs, not at least in the same way that there is on the other side. There is just a short set of like 12 steps that goes down to a lower section. When the door opens here, the air is a little bit mustier. It's stuffy. You do see that there are two trails in front of you. One kind of continues to a staircase similar to the one that you saw Gibbs and Bubbles go to, though you see there are lights active here. It's not just dark. And it seems to be, this is where the dust is a little thicker. Off and to the left, there is an open way, and you can see there are Wham Zim kind of like corporate signages and things like that. And you see on the ceiling there is a little lit sign, almost like an exit sign that we would see, but it has to shipping. And that seems to be where the Wham Zim produce is coming in.
From Echo's knowledge of like the layout of the Zen crawler, does this seem like it's headed in the direction of the Diamond District, the Wham Zim area, or does the other one seem like
Wham Zim goes towards the spine. This would go towards maintenance, and then from maintenance you could go to anywhere, really.
Cool. So, and then the spine is in the opposite direction of the tail.
Correct.
Cool. So Echo's gonna zip down the maintenance stairs.
You're faster than Gibbs and Spike.
Yes, I am.
Gibbs and doubles. So you make your way. The thick dust is draping the walls and the railings, but that flies off in a trail behind you. When you get to this bottom section, and you would do so probably in about half the time that it takes. Well, no, actually, probably closer to like a fifth the time, because this is a long walk that these two are taking.
My land speed is 80 when I am
Holy
walking.
shit. That's crazy.
You get down to the maintenance deck 1 with no problem. And here, the ceilings are about 12 feet up, and so there's a lot of space here. You can see there are these what look almost like a USR kind of insignia, but unlike the traditional 7 stars, these only have 4. You see the words beneath read Sol Republic. And there is a kind of like stenciled in gold underneath. You see also in proud steel struck relief above the door in front of you, Waystation Frognot, Maintenance Deck 1. You can see directly in front of you there is this almost airlock looking door, and there is a label on it that reads Subsection 1. There is a sort of window. It's quite dirty, and you can see the dust has settled in from the other side. You can make out some shapes and stuff through it, but this seems to be the way into the further kind of section here. Maintenance Deck 1 has a number of like subsections that you would need to progress through in order to actually get to the lift proper. I would say, Echo, you know enough about this to know whatever lift is inside subsection 1 almost certainly goes to the sort of base where the spine ends. Probably make a perception check. You get right up to the door, you look in the window.
34.
In the darkness of this space, you see dozens of cardboard boxes that have melted together and then probably dried out. You see purple-white powdery residue that floats on top of a layer
Like that.
of deep yellow oil that stands about 3 feet deep. And you would get the sense that the lift that is in there, you can see there's like little drips of oil coming down it. Probably leads very close to Sal's snails in the spine. Yeah. You can see just barely light from the other end of this roughly 30 by 50 space. That seems to be the door to the next subsection. There is like just mounds of broken down cardboard boxes that are kind of just floating in oil. And you do see in the middle of the room, there is a lift. And that is probably what goes up to the Sal Snails area. On the other side is that doorway. You would probably need to like crawl through this oily debris to get to that other door, but it is open and there doesn't appear to be anything blocking it.
Echo just thinks for a moment about how much Gibbs would enjoy this. And how much they don't.
Dress me like a salad. Oil and vinegar.
I have nothing that can clean this. All right.
Fire, just...
Yeah, I have nothing that can clean this. I'm just going to have to go through and hope for the best.
Should have got some squeaky clean wipes.
You gonna open it?
I mean, it's the only way forward.
You grab onto the mechanical part of the door and you pull this lever down, and there is a little like almost like wave of oil that just laps like a tidal pool over your feet, and it recedes slightly and comes back a little bit, but when it opens, there is one step that goes down into the room, and the oil is just level with that step. It almost moves a little bit like a current in here, but it doesn't flood out over you. You do know that when you walk, you'll be walking through about 3 inches deep of oil until you reach a part of the cardboard mound that you can scale. And you're realizing very oily, congealed kind of cardboard slicks, and you will need to climb it to get to the lift, and then you can clear over the lift into the next room.
Yeah. Echo pulls out their motion detector and just kind of like holds onto it,
Okay.
like boots it up.
You boot it up, and there are very small life forms here, lots of them, but you're not seeing anything large or things that immediately concern you.
Echo pulls out one of the stomach tabs from the field kit,
Okay.
and throws one into the oil just to see.
Sure. Just drips in and then
that's the best
slowly just sinks.
That was
Sinks.
fantastic.
That was a really good drip.
There's one little like bubble that comes up, and you can see like as it is beginning to dissolve, it releases oxygen. There's no violent reaction. Nothing comes flying over to bite into it.
Cool. None of the little tiny creatures are like flocking it and like cool.
When I say tiny, I mean like insect likely.
Yeah. No. Hey.
Yeah, no worries.
Aliens, man. Echo is Echo short? Like, is the ceiling tall enough that Echo can like
Easily. The ceiling here, at least
run
20 feet up.
across?
So you can run on the ceiling, right?
Wait, hold on. I gotta see what my climbing is. If I can like climb, or if it's just like if I have sticky things yet. Oh, I don't have sticky things yet. I just have a climb speed.
What's your climb speed?
My climb speed is equal to my land speed.
Oh.
So you can just like whoa, 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 on
Yeah,
the wall.
easy enough for you. You get the sense that this is probably, for most people, an athletics check. But for you, you can just run right up this oil slick cardboard, and as it dissolves underneath you, you reach the top of the lift, and you can just kind of roll off the other side. And there is only oil, no cardboard mounds. And you can just your way to the opposite door.
Parkour.
Technically. You get to this next door, and there is
Cardboard.
There is no doorway here, but it does seem that the pitch of the space station is such that there is no door here, but the pitch of the space station is such that the oil is a little bit lower on this side, and so it doesn't flood out into the chamber beyond.
Thank God.
You can see that the lift in this room almost exactly the same. You see this is labeled subsection B. The lift itself is sunk deeper than it should be, probably. There's like a 2-inch gap that you can actually see like straight into the interstitial space of the deck below. But there is the sound of like cables or some kind of like flying element that is coming from within that interstitial space. And I would say, Echo, you know enough about the Zen-crawler to know the kind of rubberized cords that control the mechanisms that move these massive limbs are running through those interstitial spaces. And I would say make a sense motive check. Or engineering, whichever is, better for you.
I mean, I will take the engineering.
Yeah.
Sense motive isn't too bad, but I will happily take a 35.
With the 35, you recognize the speed and strength of these cables is such that if you were to fall, and it's only a 2-inch gap, but if you were to fall between somehow, if you were to make it larger and then fall in, almost certainly they would rip you to shreds. There's no surviving it. It'd be pretty rough.
Damn. Sucks for anyone who planned to just rip their way through using a time's edge.
You can hear the cables. You can smell something like hot rubber and carbon that is heavy in the air here.
Limp. It'll be fine.
The door at the far end, though, easily accessible. There's nothing that really bars your way there, and the lift itself is so weighted down that you can just walk right across. It is closed. The white paint... So you do see, it does say that the section beyond is subsection 3, but there's something that catches your eye on this door. There's a painted symbol, and it's not painted like somebody spray painted it on, like many of the signages here. It is certainly hand painted, and you would suspect by Yasoki, as it appears to be the insignia of an emaciated rat that kind of curls up and in on itself.
I don't like that.
You can see that there is some wax underneath. What languages do you speak?
Vesk and whatever space common is.
You see some very strange looking glyphs and symbols that are kind of inscribed into the wax beneath this symbol. You can see that there is a window here, and from beyond, there is flickering cold white light that does seem to emanate from multiple points. If you get a little closer, you can kind of peer in.
But this is like the way towards where Echo wants to go,
Oh,
right?
yeah, you're getting there.
Echo's gonna have to go in.
So you get up to the door, and you can see on the other side, there are steel, So on the other side of this door, there are overhead LED lights. Unlike many other places, these are all broken. And actually, in the cold flicker of the light that you do see, there are dozens of little bits of glass that are kind of littering the floor that probably housed lights or some kind above. But those have been broken. The light itself is coming from dozens of tiny candles that cast a faint, cold white light, almost like an LED light, around them. They are mounted in cast iron holders that themselves are soldered onto the walls. They flicker. The rest of the room is cast in soft, overlapping shadows that seem to almost twist and circle around the light.
This
And
feels religious.
Here and there, you can see from the shadows the edges of caskets, Yosoki-sized.
Have I reached the Yosoki graveyard?
It doesn't not feel like that.
We don't eat our own dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought they eat their own dead. But...
Could be a different clan. So obviously traditions vary. Clan.
Echo has to go through.
Respectfully.
I'm certainly not going to go through and start opening every single casket.
We already
to check
pissed the
inside.
best off. Why not the Yosokis? We haven't pissed a Yosoki off in the entire campaign.
You can
Echo's
see
gonna,
that mechanical thing is there. You could pull it down. The door should open. You see no locks.
Can Echo kind of like get an angle on seeing the door from the other side? So you said there's windows, right?
Yeah, there's one window.
Can from that angle, can Echo see the other side of the door or no?
So you angle over and you can see across. You do see the lift. The lift is cleaner than many of them, but through the emptiness of the lift, you can see that there is a door. The door itself is...
Oh no, the other side of the door that I'm on.
Oh, yeah, sure, no problem. You kind of peer in. There's no... What are you looking for?
Just looking for anything hinky, like step here and get bucket on the head of...
There's no buckets, there's no guns, there's no little turret emplacements.
Okay.
There is just the painting of an emaciated rat curled in on itself and some weird wax tablet.
Kara knows this is a bad idea. Echo just feels like this is probably not a good one, but has to go through. Echo's gonna go through.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
He's
bad.
typing. He's saying.
I
Echo
know.
goes through
Echo-
and commits the great sins of grave.
Echo desecrates
Watch
the
the way we
Yosoki.
go is just very exhausting. It's just maybe a slippery floor on one of the steps has a little sign. We just walk around it, and that's our.
Make a will saving throw.
Of course.
As you
magic.
pull this lever down and the door cracks, that wax tablet just splinters in half.
19?
There's a 19. Give me 1 second. What's this?
It's not a Starfinder number, is it? That's a D&D number.
That is a D&D number. What was it?
No, it's not 17. 19.
19? That's good, because a 17 would be a fail, but a 19 is a meets a pizza.
We're gonna keep you because you've been behaving
As the
all
door
right.
opens and the wax tablet just crumbles and falls into little drips of melted wax, there is a burst of this baleful light, and you feel the molecules across your skin begin to bubble and shift and warp and change. You can feel the few biological components within you begin to kind of buckle and boil and blister, and all at once you are able to willpower yourself past this baleful polymorph, and you are not mutated into a hideous creature.
Cool.
Nice.
You do have just reddish skin. There is this kind of twisted, burning feeling, but the shadows do feel darker.
Echo got a sunburn in the basement.
And all at once, the lights go out.
Oh, that's not good.
You don't feel as alone in this room as you did before.
Echo locators are out.
You hear a soft breath just drawn in through rattling bones.
Echo doesn't believe in ghosts. Echo saw where the lift was.
Mm-hmm.
Echo's going to just run for it.
Okay. You run for it. And all you just hear is, But you get to the other side. Echo, on the other side of this door, there is a simple door that just says subsection 4. You can see there is a matching seal to the one that you saw,
Damn it.
but it's faced towards the other room, and you get
Okay.
the sense that opening this, the wax seal will slide aside. It's probably meant for somebody coming in from the other way.
Okay.
This opens into subsection 4, and even from this side, you can see that this is by far the cleanest room yet. There is dust on the walls from this side, but all that you can really see is just that. And as you get close to it, it opens with just proximity.
Cool.
You smell formaldehyde, you smell iron, but otherwise, really the cleanest room that you've ever been in.
Love it.
And you can see beyond subsection 3. Or sorry, subsection E.
Wait.
What happens to
E?
section 4?
So you have progressed through subsection 1, B, 3, 4, and the next one would be E.
It's a weird ass alphabet, but
Sure is.
I'll buy it.
What's with this weird ass alphabet?
That's how you soak the
This-
spell.
This sounds motivating.
No, it's not. Sense motive?
Yeah.
25.
The B and E ones, when you look at those, especially now being so close to one of them, these have been modified and have been changed for some reason. They're different than the other decks, and perhaps that means something. With the 25, unclear as to what that is, but Echo, you're realizing you would probably need to search a little bit further in either the room that has those really dangerous cables kind of sliding around underneath, or in the room that is just beyond, where you can see that there are old, badly rusted and faded steel signs. You can actually see one of them in common that reads, "Warning, lift leads to exterior of way station. Ensure
Cool.
your regulator is working before activating the lift."
That feels more safe than the big bands that'll just saw you in half. Echo's gonna go search in that room.
Okay.
You don't want to go talk to the Ahsoka ghost?
No, hell no! I don't got no
I
magic
want that plot
powers.
so bad.
You just walk into that door. I would say at this point, the two of you, halfway down to maintenance deck 2, it's taken you a long time to walk.
I start sliding on the the stair railing, and then I have to hop off to do the next curve and then slide.
Yeah, it's a
hop off,
very
do the
small
next
curve. Each one, it's like, so this slows you as Gibbs is like jumping up, sliding. The time it takes to dismount, kind of like turn around, you get your tail, you have to pull your tail out of the railing. It's like a whole thing.
I do it for like 20 stairs and then get bored.
Yeah, no problem. But
The
just,
ADD takes over.
You do get to this area.
Both Gibbs
You
and Ariana have ADHD.
see that the only place, there's very little dust here. The lift you can see is a little different than the other ones that you've seen so far. It is enclosed, and so it is one that probably has a little bit of a seal to it when it goes through the actual transition point to the exterior. You can see on the other side there is a door that goes to subsection 6, and Echo, you know that subsection 6 would be the one that is beneath Hardcore Henry's compound.
Cool.
But in this one, you can see that there are 10 small tether points in a ring around the circular lift's center. And you would guess you could probably like tether yourself. So if this does truly go to the exterior of the way station, when it opens, you are not jettisoned into space with the depressurization of the lift. This seems to lead to the surface, and so if Bubbles and Gibbs had been kind of like scrambling around on the outside, they might have eventually found this. You get the sense that it's probably pretty well hidden and probably one of those things that's harder to open from the outside, as that's not really the intention.
Yeah, it's not designed to do that.
Exactly. But on the other side of this, you see room number 6. The door is there. There's a little mechanical thing that you can pull down to open it. I would say make a perception check because there's a lot of light coming out of this door, more than any of the other ones that you've seen so far.
That's an 18.
It's an 18. 18's enough. I mean, there's a pretty good amount of light. You walk up and you can see beyond the first occupied space. Well, the first clearly occupied space by living beings that you can see.
I don't like that.
Beyond, there is the lift right in the center, as all the other ones are. You can see huge fan-like structures behind it. You can see what looks like a number of different crates and different items of shipping. and you see a human, you see probably 1 or 2 Lashunta, you see a Sharen. But what really takes your attention with an 18 standing on the lift itself, and there is like little consoles and things that have been set up here, you can see a huge squid-looking guy. You can see probably about 11 feet tall, all these tentacles coming down his face. He's wearing dark sunglasses. His arms are crossed right now, and he's just kind of nodding, like looking at everybody else. The door seems soundproof, and so when they kind of like gesture and point, you're not sure if they're talking because there's just tentacles. There's no mouth that you can see, but they're like, directing people. You see, I would say 4 or 5 people in this room. You're not sure that you could see all of them because of the way that the space is broken up by the lift. But that is the lift to Hardcore Henry's compound, and it is guarded.
It would be.
But at this moment, Gibbs and Bubbles, the two of you, make your way to the very bottom of the staircase, and there is a door to the maintenance tunnels. It's unlocked and slightly ajar, but you do see on the other side a heavy slab of steel has been laid across it, and that would need to be pushed out of the way or otherwise manipulated to be able to slide the door fully open. It leans against the door so that it's pressed and cannot slide along the track.
Like intentionally so, or?
Make a sense motive check.
17.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my Nancy Drew trick that I did in the Hollow Husk with my makeup kit.
Okay.
From my hygiene kit, whatever. I'm gonna slide the mirror underneath the door in the gap, and I'm just gonna try to see if I can see behind the steel behind it.
Yeah, you can, certainly. No check needed. You could see beyond. There's an electronically locked door that leads further into this kind of space. There is still light and electricity going to it, and so it's active, but there is no like trap or anything like that. You're really just seeing that somebody has moved, almost certainly moved, because it's like laid at an angle against the door. If somebody were coming from the other side, they would just need to pull it out to make the door open.
Gibbs, do you think you could crawl through here?
Can I?
You can make an athletics check.
Yeah, I try. I'm gonna try.
Just don't go too far though without me.
I won't. I'm shit at this. So.
Yeah, but you are smart.
I'm shit at this. I got a 3 plus nothing.
So Gibbs.
I like go to my bottle and it's like boom, boom. Nope.
No. You get in.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, you do. You get in. The bottle, as you turn to get the widest part forward, you kind of wedge it in. You wedge in. You get like literally exactly halfway.
Nice.
The roundest part of the bottle is now wedged between the metal, and you're stuck. And you realize you could detach the bottle and you could get out, but the bottle would still be there.
Gibbs, I could take the bottle and try to like give it back to you once you're in there, if it's safe.
No, if it won't get out with me attached to it, it's not gonna get through with me not attached to it. The width of the bottle is the width of reality.
I've never heard it put so.
I'm just saying the space is only so big, and you can't. When your whiskers say don't do it, that's when you know to back it up.
I don't have whiskers, but I mean.
But I don't think I can even back it up. I'm kind of like it's kind of there. What if you just pull it?
I have something for this, and I'm gonna take out the frictionless gel that I had.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm going to kind of like grease up myself and grease up a little bit of Gibbs in the bottle.
Okay. Easy enough to do. You grease up Gibbs in the bottle, and almost immediately as you get the bottle, it goes out to the other side. And Gibbs, you are smaller than the circumference of the bottle. You just kind of slide with it. And with the frictionless gel, you slide 10 feet, you slide 15 feet, and you just see yourself just enter into a torn open shipping container.
It's like a dog when he's running his butt on the carpet.
I will wait for my friend and ally.
Hey.
You slide into the shipping container and bump your head against this one that is fully closed.
Oh, I see.
You kind of look, there's light coming at it
Hold on
here.
1 second, I'm gonna grab the
All of these shipping containers only leave about like 5 or 6 inches of space between them, so they do go floor to ceiling. But you do see that there seems to be a path that is relatively clear through.
Could you just explain that real quick, Joe? I'm sorry.
No worries. So this is where Gibbs just slides in and bumps their head here. You can enter anywhere from these 2 spaces in. And then these are all shipping containers. Oh no.
Yeah, I just took it off.
It's okay.
That's okay. We can just glue it back. I think actually this is the second time that it's broken. Because tiny little.
Because I got dainty ankles. Yeah.
Well, so what I found here at Forge, is the sci-fi miniatures, for whatever reason, do not have the same durability as their fantasy miniatures. Hero Forge. But Gibbs, you slide in and are just like on your back, looking up, holding your bottle. Bubbles, you can kind of wedge yourself in and right underneath. And you see all these floor-to-ceiling almost shipping containers. You can see over the top, there's like a 5-inch gap, so you can kind of see that on the very far end there is an opening between two containers, and likely the continuation of this path towards maintenance deck 1.
Gibbs, we have to whisper. We don't know who's around here.
Yeah, all these angles make the echo so loud. Okay. Do I smell any danger? Are you coming? Can you fit?
Yeah, I'm almost through.
And I wedge myself finally through.
Yeah. Do you smell anything?
Make a perception check.
Nat 1.
Well, you smell bubbles. You smell fear. You smell maybe...
That gel is so smelly.
But yeah, really, you're just smelling.
Is it flavored?
It's frictionless, but it's not scentless. It has a very astringent quality to it. You taste it, and your tongue goes numb. It's like drinking perfume almost in the way that it feels. But you, with your tongue hanging out, you get back to your feet.
What has made the? Why is this broken?
It looks like something broke out.
How
Maybe
recently?
somethings.
Is it like covered in rust or?
There is rust, yeah. You can see rust around the torn points, and that means it was probably some time ago.
What are you looking at, Gibbs?
Look at the edges of this. Yeah, they're covered in rust. A clean cut
Yeah.
wouldn't have time to heal. And think about rust like metal scabs. So it's older than.
Bubs is gonna look into the container. Does Bubs find any like hairs or any skin or any
Make a
parts?
perception check.
That is a 12
Plus
13, 25.
With the 25, all that you can see, it looks like almost like a tube sock, but you realize it is some kind of like a almost like a shed snakeskin, but it's so smooth that it's almost upsetting.
Okay. I'm gonna take the skin and I'm gonna put it in the compass. I can use the compass multiple times a day.
Okay.
Correct? I'm pretty sure.
Is this the absolute compass?
Yeah, I remember we went over this.
Give me 1 second here. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm curious
I
about
think
that.
it's once per 24 hours, but you can register one creature. Once the compass is registered this way, the compass needle points to the creature regardless of distance.
Yeah, I think we can do it as much.
If the creature dies or is on a different plane, it wobbles indecisively.
Yeah, I remember we going.
Once per day is a standard action. You can register the exact molecular makeup of a creature. So you can do this once per day.
Do you want to use it on random tube sock snake? Or you want to wait?
Yeah, we can use it.
Okay. You take this, you jam it into the absolute compass, and you watch the needle begin to spin.
Which direction is it pointing?
All of them.
All of them?
Spins.
Gibbs, I think there's multiple things here.
Yeah, probably, but it looks like we gotta run this gauntlet regardless, so,
Could we maybe jump on the crates?
there's only 5 inches of space, and I don't think your frictionless gel is that frictionless.
No.
But,
I can at least hover with my jetpack.
sure. You know, one time there's this guy in a white lab coat who put me in a maze and told me to find my way out, and I had to do it like 12 times, and I did it great, so I think this will be fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick up Gibbs and with the jetpack, I'm gonna. Is that cool? No.
Yeah. Is there enough space to do that?
I mean, you can't really.
I just don't want to be touching the floor.
Okay, you can do that. You'll have like your back and your heads pressed
Yeah.
against the ceiling. It'll be very uncomfortable, but you can do it.
I think Gibbs is being held like a rat, like a cat
Yeah,
when
no
you hold
problem.
your cat.
It's not too
like,
uncomfortable for
long
you. It's really
body.
for
Yeah.
Bubbles. As you like keep that like level kind of thrust, your head and shoulders just along the edge and the
And you think
ceiling.
this is less sneaky, more safe than
It's
just
definitely
Bubs
not
is just-
audibly
he's
sneaky,
just
but
scared.
you're not touching the floor.
the floor is not low.
You make your
Bubs
way
is scared of the
5
floor.
feet, 10 feet in, and as you do, Bubbles, You cross this point, and though your feet don't touch the ground, you do see on the left and right hand side on these little shipping containers, there were what you sort of saw as like these metal pucks. Suddenly, a little red light on each just ding on, and you see overhead there are 6 things that just begin to descend down, and they open. And part of you thinks maybe like a turret. You see openings coming from it. But all at once, it fills the air with thousands of flechettes. But as we begin to do that,
Flechettes?
it is 8:10, and so we're going to step away for a quick break before we resolve this. Flechettes are like tiny little
needles.
barbs almost, and they break into pieces once they're within you.
Okay.
But we'll be back in just a little bit to see how that goes. There will be a timer on your screen. We'll see you at the end of it. Welcome back to Starfinder. Thank you for sticking through the break if you did. If not, welcome. We're playing Starfinder.
I slow us down enough. I don't need to slow us down here.
So we're going to jump back into our game. Give me just 1 second to change the music a little bit. Boom.
Put the Ghost Gym Pokemon music on. Except it's copywritten.
It is certainly copywritten.
Nintendo is like the most copyrighted people.
That's not Nintendo.
Game Freak.
Game Freak.
Or the Pokemon Company.
Pokemon Company will sue your ass.
Yeah. So.
So Flash coming from ceiling?
You can see the magnetized trip wires go off.
Yeah.
You see the red lights begin to glow. And there are 5 ceiling apertures that open up. Can I have Bubbles and Gibbs roll for initiative, please? And the room rolls initiative 17.
I'm way higher.
That's good.
15
Hey.
plus 4. 19.
Okay, so very nice. Actually, that's great. So
21.
Gibbs, you are going first, followed by Bubbles, and then you can see the little turrets will finish descending and they will take their turn.
Okay.
So, Gibbs, you are currently where you are located on that map. You can see there are shipping containers all around you. There is a narrow pathway that is only about 5 feet wide in most places through, and suddenly things are happening. What are you doing?
Cool. I'm gonna. I like to imagine how much feet do we have between us, Bubbles?
What do you mean?
Like
Fishing wire feet.
We can say it's like taut at like 10 feet.
Right. Then
That seems like enough to give you room.
I wanna gunk the wheels. So I'm gonna proceed. Can we move together? Because our turns are back to back.
Yeah, I would say you
Okay.
can certainly
Cool.
do that.
So I'll move when he moves.
Okay.
But I want to spend my not movement action gunking by dirtying the gears
Okay.
that are rolling down.
Sure. So,
Wherever they are.
so for movement,
Yep.
go ahead and move to where you're going to go for your round.
Okay, where's the first turret, Joe?
The first turret is the. Okay, here actually.
Can we put
There's
some
30
things on the map?
feet. This is where I would like to
We
go.
can put some dice on.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And I have roughly dice that are all the same color for these 5 turrets. Okay, so
Got it.
This is where I want to go.
you can see one almost dead center in the room.
Yeah.
You can see one that is over this shipping container. You can see one that is right there. You can see one that is directly behind you, and then one that is off at this corner. This is what?
Where I want to go.
Okay, I'm going to put that next to it so that
Yeah.
it's not kind of confusing with that, but no problem.
Okay.
So, those are where those turrets are. They're about half descended. You get the sense that because they are only half descended, they are probably a little bit more sturdy because the shot to hit their mechanisms will be a lot harder.
I can move 120 feet, so I can. Just
Oh wait, we can dash, right?
Yeah.
Can we dash?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm
I
gonna
have
do.
30 times 4.
Yeah, I also have 30.
So you can dash. Yeah, you
we just-
absolutely can.
Yeah.
So Bubbles, as these begin to descend, you rush
And you
using
can
your
dirty-
jetpack to
I
just
can't
steer
dirty if I'm
yourself
dashing.
through.
Oh, yeah.
You run and run and run, and you make your way to that far door.
Can't dirty dash.
Bubbles.
I can only dirty dance.
You make it to the end of this place, and that is your full move to do so.
Yeah.
At the very end, there is a door, and this door it has a computerized lock to it. On the other side, there is a staircase, and you can see a sign that reads Maintenance Deck 1, and it has the kind of arrow pointing to it. You need to do something on your next round to bypass this computer, but that is your turn.
So it looks like at least this one can't hit us, and this one can't hit us, maybe? I don't know.
So you do remember,
Because we're not here.
Oh, but there's 5 feet gap.
yeah, 5-inch gap, but
Yeah.
that's still enough. These are little flechette darts. And so on their round, they're going to take attacks against you. At the moment, there are only 3 that can hit you.
Okay.
So, Bubbles, you are the larger of the targets.
Yeah.
We'll kind of
And I'm trying to
you.
shield for Gibbs.
Absolutely. So,
I started just fucking around with luck for the next round.
does a 36 hit?
Holy shit!
Yes.
No fucking way.
Does a 29 hit?
No.
And then does a 31 hit?
Yes.
Okay. So, Bubbles. Ooh,
And these are piercing.
they are.
Yes, good.
Boy, oh boy, they are. Okay, so, Bubbles,
Minus
you
10.
are going to be taking from the first one. That's rough, buddy. You're going to be taking 42 points of piercing damage.
32.
Gibbs. It is a 28 hit.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. Gibbs, you only take... Wow. You are only taking 24 points of piercing damage. Bubbles, you got hit by 2 or 1?
I don't know.
2.
I'm pretty sure it was 2. 31 hit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I got 2 points.
So the second one, that is going to be 20, 29. Second here. 39.
Oh, I found it.
46 points of piercing damage. As this is like a water sprinkler, but the water drops are tiny steel darts that have barbed ends. And as soon as it pierces through your shield and into your skin, it shatters into about a dozen other little darts that kind of snake their way into your flesh and become ensnared within. And the damage is not representative of them piercing, but when you move, it just tears through muscle and flesh.
Is it an effect?
It is not an effect, but that is just the nature of the damage. Gibbs
Yeah.
does a...
I'm so small. I'm so small and
Does a
pretty.
22 hit?
Yeah.
Gibbs, you are only taking
I keep upgrading my armor.
21 points of piercing damage, as these pierce through Bubbles' body and into you as well. You are taking less damage as Bubbles is kind of curled around you,
Yeah.
but it is still a fair amount of damage for your tiny little Yosoki body. But you are at the end of this pathway. All that stands between you and freedom is the door. So Gibbs, what would you like to do?
We're gonna work together
Okay.
to bypass this door. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I've seen my friends who are good at doors do.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna... It's a keyboard?
Yeah.
Hack the door.
Make a computer's
no.
check.
Together! We're doing it together!
I was gonna break it.
Oh, well,
So we have 2 tries here, it seems.
Yeah.
So first, you're going to do the easy way. Go ahead and make a computer's
Hey,
check.
that is what your friend who is good at computers did.
Yeah.
8!
8. As these needles are just digging into your skin, your ear is almost hanging off now as little parts are like picked away. Your image that is projected of Trinket is like flickering badly. Bubbles, you watch as Gibbs is just slapping on this, like shrieking out.
Yeah.
Nothing is happening.
All right, I'm gonna full attack it because it's right in front of me. I'm not gonna miss,
Go
right?
ahead and make a full attack. Yeah, make your do a damage roll.
God damn it. It's the Doth code, so it's 2d12. I already moved. Oh god, I can never tell what d12. So it's only
D12s?
Yes.
2 D12s.
I have a
So
hard time.
have we readied our sympathetic hardcore Henry goons for Spice and Shade?
9 and 4
You barely
plus 18.
plus 18. Okay.
Oh.
How much is the total? 9 plus 4, 13, 18, 20, 31.
31.
Yeah.
You slam into this door, and it does have a hardness to it that you are not expecting, but that's a lot of damage, and you twist it badly. You do not destroy it,
I have a second attack.
but you create enough of an opening that you can make it through.
Nice.
And with no further trouble, you make it through this round. You get out to the exterior, and for the next minute, as you are progressing down the stairs, you can hear as it just continues to fire flechettes. You get the sense that it would do it for roughly a minute.
Gibbs, are you okay?
Oh, my ear's falling off. Are you okay? Your pec looks bruised, at least.
Yeah, that's it's not great.
Are you
but-
bleeding, or is that just
No,
like...
no, it's I'll be fine. Honestly, like I've had worse, but like I'm just worried about Spice.
And
Yeah.
sure enough, you are now in a place where you can make your way down. And so if you take the stairs, no problem. You make it
Down
to,
or up?
Sorry, up. To
Okay,
maintenance
okay.
deck 1. Maintenance deck 1 is a place that seems to have been recently treaded. And so the doors are all open in front of you.
Weird.
Yeah, very strange.
Hey, we're getting closer to Echo. I wonder if she's been here yet.
Yeah, they may have been. But you...
Do you smell her?
I don't know. It smells like oil, and also I'm sad, so I can't. Can we move on?
I'm sad I can't really move on. That's the secret. The secret Gibbs move.
So you all walk through a room where there are dozens of boxes of cardboard that have just kind of congealed into this oily slick. There is like oil lapping up and down
Doesn't
across.
bother me.
You do see, kind of weird, a fizzing stomach tab that is almost entirely dissolved at this point. It is mostly just bubbles along the surface of the oil, but you can make your way across.
trudge.
You make it to
But-
subsection B.
Do you trudge?
I trudge.
Okay.
Okay. Through the oil, it just soaks into the shield.
You okay?
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, but you know, we just gotta focus on the mission. We gotta get the spice.
Right.
It's a lot better. The next room is a lot better for you. Bubbles, you can see that the elevator is sunk in a little bit. You smell burning rubber, but you make your way across, and you see in front of you this doorway. And Gibbs, there's something weird about this door.
What's weird about this doorway, Joe? Does it say in Yosoki?
It does. It says, Beyond. The Grand Shilder Rest.
The-
Trespass against Lao Shu Po at your own consequence.
Knew it.
It's a perfectly intact wax tablet. And you get the sense that there is some arcane nature to it.
Detect magic.
This is magical. But
But it's already open, right?
the door is open. The
Yeah.
tablet is sealed. You can walk through with no issue. It's dark beyond.
Can I glow lights? Do I have that spell?
Tell me.
Sorry.
No, Gibbs. I think it might be better if we just do this in darkness.
Okay. Okay, but if there's trip hazards, I'm close to the ground, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go in darkness.
And just in case, I'll have my my snare trap ready. But
Yeah, no problem. You walk, and as you do, there's a little crunch crunch as you break through glass. There's broken glass along the ground. But presumably wearing shoes, you are all fine with that.
Does Gibbs wear shoes?
I mean,
Yeah, it's fine.
you have to check your day.
That's the canon way of knowing.
it's pretty
You
broken up.
find as you are walking through,
no
you kind
shoes.
of bump into things here and there. And Gibbs, if you look real close, there are little Yosoki caskets. There is a number of them in this room. Quite a few. At least 24. And you get the sense that these are not empty. There is something heavy in the air here. There is something magical in the air here. You can see the insignia of Lao Shu Po's emaciated rats have been carved into these various caskets. There's a reverence to it that is unusual. You do see as you're passing, at first you can't quite tell. You almost feel like you hear something and you turn, and one of the caskets is slightly ajar. You see a curled, mummified tail that probably is attached to a body. Do you just walk through?
I'm gonna say a quick prayer in my head as we pass. But we are already trespassing, so I am not gonna make it worse by exploring and satisfying my own curiosity. But I do want to acknowledge the room, and I will pick up my little toes so I am stepping with as little disturbance as possible. And I my tail is up and it is tiptoe as much as I can. And I'm gonna move forward.
Okay. You move forward. When you pass that casket, it's almost like you hear a little whisper. But you move past, and you make it to the other door with no problem.
Gibbs, what the hell was that?
On the other side of that door, you smell formaldehyde. You smell iron. This is one of the cleanest rooms that you've seen, Bubbles. There's a refreshing element to that formaldehyde. The iron smell, I would say
can't
for... Oh, you can't smell.
It smells like formaldehyde and iron.
Oh,
so
great.
weird.
I don't know what those are, but
But Gibbs, I would say the formaldehyde and the iron is a uniquely medical smell. There's something above you that is medical. You can see there is a lift, and it is quite clean. But beyond there is a deck labeled E-Deck. It's old, badly rusted, faded steel sign that reads, "Warning, lift leads to the exterior." You can walk right past that if you want as well. And you would see on the far end of that, kind of crouched near a door, Echo.
So
Who's
okay.
been there for
Med.
a solid 15 minutes doing some reconnaissance.
So graveyard, med smell.
Subsection 1, oily room.
Yeah.
Subsection B has the descended lift.
Yeah.
Subsection 3 is Lao Shu Po's cemetery. Subsection 4 is the formaldehyde and iron room. Subsection E is the lift to the exterior, and subsection 6, the one beyond the door that Echo is crouched behind, is subsection 6. That is the thing that you have not seen yet.
Okay, so we're in formaldehyde and iron room.
And Echo, you've been here for long enough now that I would say you've gotten a good sense for the different people as they do move around. There's a casualness. It's not quite like they're all relaxed. There's tension, but they're not on guard in the same way that the Carbon Cartel folks were. This seems to be somewhere that they feel a little bit more confident in. And because you've been here for 15 minutes, would a visual perspective be helpful?
I would love a visual perspective, Joe. I'm sure I've documented every outlet available.
Joe, I'm gonna put these back in your tray.
Is to know what was in that room. It's fine. We're moving on. No.
We can talk. We'll
talk
We can
later.
do a scene about it. I kind of want to do a scene, but we can do one later.
All right. Big shout out to Hannah for bringing me more cardboard to mount all the
Oh,
things on.
nice.
Thank you, Hannah,
For Humblewood.
for Humbly Woods.
Okay, let me... Nope, that.
Yeah.
It's a smaller map than usual.
It is a
fits.
smaller map than. Oh, look at Tentacle
love
Man!
that
Holy
mini.
shit, he's
I know,
mini.
right?
Where'd you
I
make
did not
that?
paint that. That was... So, Starfinder has a... Not Starfinder, D&D Planescape. Some pre-painted minis in their grab bags, and I try to get a couple of those pre-painted. Thank you for subscribing and stuff. It helps us get these boxes of pre-painted minis, which are such a time saver. But it also inspires me to make characters like this guy.
I love this
You
guy.
can see Echo, that is the individual, and for those of you at home, you can see a much closer version of this when we post it on Instagram sometime this week if people take pictures. But
Thanks for the reminder.
no problem. You are all, if you are at the door, where Bubbles and Gibbs are, the door would open right to those 3 barrels. Those barrels seem to have been placed almost like a little bit of a barrier. You can see, You can see there is a turret that is off and to the left that is sort of manned by a Kasatha, the kind of bandana up around their mouth. You can see there are 2 huge mechanized arms that seem to be part of a assembly almost. Those are currently inert and in this kind of standby mode. There's a number of metal barriers that different individuals are kind of speaking behind, casually leaning up against. There are empty containers here and there that seem kind of open and cast aside. And then there are huge ventilation exchanges in the back that seem to be moving air through this space. The lift is the structure that you see in front of you in the middle. And you can see it is laden on the top with fuel cells that are active. You can see there is a number of controls, and that is what you see.
And the generator is where?
So in the very, very back of the room, on the other side of
That
the
thing?
lift, in the center,
This thing?
that would be the generator.
Yes!
Oh, well,
Mission accomplished!
I mean, it would make lights go out in oxygen, but lights.
So, okay.
So you see that large fan next to the generator? Mm-hmm. That seems to be powered from a different source, probably. That is the oxygen exchanger. If you can damage one and not the other, you don't have to damage the oxygen, but you're realizing now Time's Edge, those are really close to each other. Really
Time's
close.
Edge is only 5 feet, though.
Yeah, but if you're doing it from up above and you can't see,
Right.
the chances of hitting one and not the other would be almost impossible.
Now I can see
But now you can see.
Formaldehyde room.
I trust you could do it.
So, does it have exposed ceilings where we can see the wires funding this room? No.
There is no visible kind of wires or electronics.
Okay.
Do you think you can make the shot if you see it?
Oh, yeah, but I don't know if 10d6 is enough to damage that big old thing. Like a 5-foot gap into it is good, but
I don't know. All you have to do is hit some wires.
Gibbs, make an engineering check. As you look at that, you try to think about what might be within that exterior shell of iron or steel.
13.
I mean, that just looks like steel, and you could fire right through that.
Yeah, I mean I could, but like I don't think it's been doing anything.
Can you upcast?
I can't upcast Time's Edge. Yeah.
The door between Echo and this room, is it electronically locked or is it just a...
You can see the mechanical kind of thing. Doesn't seem to be locked from any computerized mechanism.
Okay.
You get the sense that the garrison is kind of the...
It might be.
It's the manned lock.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Echo's been waiting a long time, so Echo is going to try the diplomatic solution. Echo doesn't know that there are reinforcements behind me.
Okay. So you open the door.
No, we're in the same room. I see.
Echo has, and Echo, you're like the room coming into where Echo is. Echo does have 15 minutes in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
And so
You're
Echo
welcome.
can
Whatever.
easily just go in if they want.
This would be like after like watching movements for a while and like seeing how people are like interacting. I
So
think
like 5
Echo would
minutes
have.
ahead of like Gibbs and Bubbles.
Okay.
No problem.
Has Echo been able to like, I don't know, stupidly like ear to the door? They've got a shotgun.
You can ear to the door, but kind of as I said before, it seems soundproof.
It's completely soundproof. Okay.
Can you read lips?
No.
And one of the things that would be tough about that is this individual.
Has no lips. Alien lips. Cool. Is there a window through this door?
Yeah, that's how you're seeing everything.
Oh, so they've seen me.
They, as far as you can tell, they have not seen you. Nobody's looking in this direction. The door hasn't opened. You imagine this door will make a lot of noise when it
Right.
opens.
Has
All of
anyone
them.
has anyone approached the door in that like time period?
No, you've just seen people slowly, very slowly, like they're probably not being paid, or maybe they are being paid by the hour, but they are moving these fuel cells up to this lift, likely to be brought to wherever it goes to.
Okay. Does it look like the door is the only way in?
Make a perception check.
The lift. Aw, damn.
I mean, with my roll, maybe. Maybe it's just the lift. That is a 28.
There's a lift in the middle of the room.
Of
There's this door
course.
going in, and you see this huge fan that is exchanging oxygen. It must lead to a duct, and that probably, though there is a massive fan blade, that would probably easily bisect you.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try to
arrive in
time it through.
pieces. Cool. That's just this door then. Echo is going to use the glamour projector to change their outfit a bit. Are these guys like kind of outfit coordinated, or is there like kind of a vibe or a style that they're going for?
It is a make a cultures check.
I want to fit in. Hey, that's a good roll for me. That is a 28.
The 28. Okay. There's a few things that you notice here. The first is that a number of these individuals are Kasatha. And I would say with the 28, you notice the one that is up on top. This particular one has a little insignia on their chest, and that in and of itself wouldn't be a big deal. All Kasatha have these really elaborate clan names, but you recognize Clan Elme. That would be the clan that belonged to an individual that Mosaic Team 5 had apprehended a long time ago in a carnival.
Yeah.
And this person seems to be from there. The other Kasatha seems to be from there. That seems to be a uniting thing for them. You note the other things that you can see from these individuals. There is a four-legged, I would say, they are called, I'm blanking on that. Give me a second here.
Germander?
No, they're called, I think it's something similar to Solarian, but it's not quite. They have, it's that four-legged guy right there. He might even be on their base. But they have these four legs. They have a vaguely insectoid kind of limbs. They're holding what looks like a deck of cards. And as they kind of move them around, you've actually seen cards like this before because you are connected to somebody who is a fiend for Laser Monster Card Arena. They seem to be kind of manipulating these cards. And that is really what you would notice. There's not a coordinated outfit. You see freebooter armor. You see at least one individual who is wearing what looks like... just 1 second. Like the Kasatha at the top looks like they're wearing maybe like a plexiglass bodysuit that is this kind of draped in some finer clothing that has the Clan Elme sigil. But that is what you see.
Cool. It's only the Kasathas with the clan symbol, right?
Correct.
Cool. Echo is going to model themselves after the Rocco units,
Okay.
as much as it pains them. And wearing freebooter armor, just like real straightforward, stereotypical underworld uniform. And they're going to very nonchalantly just head on in.
Okay. So you change into this. That's part of your culture's check, is you are able to kind of take on this disguise. Your familiarity with this place and your background with this place allows you to do this in a way that's probably pretty convincing. The DC is lower for you. So you pull this hatch down and the door opens up. You see on the other side this individual with the tentacles. Their hands become uncrossed. They hold their hand out and you can hear Vuktor Nostak. And they tuck on their chest and they click over and you hear it change. You speak Vesk, right? Mm-hmm. And so it switches over to no deliveries today. Who are you?
Oh, I apologize.
You hear like the sound of a minigun barrels begin to kind of cycle to life and they just idle. And so in the background of this whole conversation, you're hearing the electronic whine of this gun that is kind of trained on you. Every other person here has weapons trained on you. You see a number of assault rifles. You see an individual who's holding a shotgun, but they're not firing.
Mm-hmm. I was looking for the surface. These tunnels are quite confusing.
Make a deception check, which is called... not diplomacy.
These tunnels
Persuasion.
are so confusing.
There's no persuasion.
It's
Diplomacy.
No, it's the other one. Diplomacy is persuasion, and then the other
Bluff.
one is bluff. Thank you. In a second. You guys are so truthful.
I have to do math. 27.
And 27. His eyes narrow behind these sunglasses. You see the brow ridges furrow, and then he turns, he clicks it over again, and just goes, Vinten! The gun barrel stops. And he steps down. The metal kind of slide almost bends under his weight a little bit. As he does, you see his arms unfold. One flicks out, the other one flicks out, and those two mechanized arms on either side of that lift unfold.
Oh.
You've seen technomancers before. This is certainly one.
Mm-hmm.
But he points with one arm, and the mechanical arm behind him points at you as well. And he says, "Where is your destination? You should not be here. There is war coming."
I have been trying to get off the crawler, but I got lost in the maintenance tunnels.
He turns, he clicks this thing over again, and he says, "Per contentud, Fred." And you see the guy who's holding the shotgun just roll his eyes, and he clicks the shotgun to a magnetic holster, and he walks over. He looks you up and down, and he says, "So you're like lost or something?
Yes, I had hoped to get up to the surface.
Ain't you a rocker unit?
That is correct.
Don't you got like a positioner?"
It has malfunctioned since arriving on the crawler.
"I'm supposed to take you up surface side. Come on." And they begin to lead you back in the direction that you came.
But there is a lift right there.
Yeah, you can't go in that lift. What kind of rocker unit are you? That's Hardcore Henry's. You can't go to Hardcore Henry's. Idiot. Come on. And turns and begins to lead you off.
Yeah, that's one off.
Okay.
We took care of it.
Echo is going to go with them.
Okay.
Do they shut the door behind them?
Yeah, the door shuts behind you. It's not locked again. And so, there is that mechanical thing. It's soundproof, as you remember. So you can hear them turn. There's a little bit of laughter, and you hear the voice just kind of go, "Then toast it," and then it shuts off. This individual is leading you over, and he just goes, he's right. It's not safe around here. Things going down real bad.
So he's leading, right?
Oh, yeah. Back to you. Shotgun clipped on. He was not a... Yeah.
Echo pulls out the disintegrator pistol from its quantum
Turns,
storage.
And he's like, "You really gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here too. But, we got one more job to do, and then we're gonna be going."
Mm-hmm.
Makes his way over to the lift. This is the lift that goes to the exterior. He, points at it, and he doesn't even turn around. He just, walks around, and he goes, "Don't take this one now. That's a bad time, let me tell you. Oh, I got drunk one time." And he turns over at this as he begins to tell you the story. Are you firing at him?
Yeah.
Okay, make an attack roll. And I would say make it, though there isn't advantage, roll twice.
Okay, should I take the higher roll or? Oh, right. That is a 28.
That is a 28. That is absolutely a hit. So go ahead, and we're going to call this, like, just because it makes sense. Are you using trick attack?
I mean, sure. My other die was a 16, so if I'm using stealth or bluff, I guess, for it, that would be a 31.
31 is absolutely a hit. So roll damage for that.
What? Okay, so that's 19 whatever A is, and
Acid?
It's disintegrator, so.
Oh. Makes sense, stomach acids.
Hold on. I don't often get to roll my trick attack damage, so I have to look and see how many dice it is now. Okay, it is 5. All right.
5d8? Mm-hmm. Damn.
I mean, the flechette is 60, 12.
Damn.
Yeah. There was a roll against you that had 3 numbers that were 2 digits.
So that's 19 plus 10, 29, 31, 38, 44.
44 points of damage.
Yeah.
You pull the pistol as he's like turning around. He goes, "One time I went," and you just spin him all the way around. You put the pistol up to his chin. He just goes, "I don't know," boom, and this whole head just evaporates. There is just carbon and dust, and then blood. As it just the heartbeat suddenly just accelerates, and the force of the adrenaline just spurts like a fountain, and it just rains down across you, and they just onto the ground.
Apologies.
There's no response. Gibbs and Bubbles, you are like 10 feet away now, and you just like on the other side, you are just walking
I wanna
around,
hear about the story
and you
about what
watch as
happened
Echo
when he
just
went-
executes this guy.
Hello.
What happened when he went?
What happened here?
There were 5 guards and a large guard. The large guard is able to manipulate.
There were 6 guards, and now there's 5.
Okay, I obviously
You
cannot
already
count.
moved one off the board.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I didn't see the guy
Yeah,
over
I
there.
got you.
Cool.
I didn't see
There
the
were
guy.
6 guards and a very large tentacled person who is able to control a couple of gun turrets. Now there are 5 guards and a large person who is able to control a couple of guard turrets.
Well, I don't really like that math, but you know, it's at least getting better. What's the plan here?
Echo just goes back and, "I'm sorry, I'm lost. Can you help us again and again and
Wearing the
again?"
uniform.
Rinse and repeat. Yeah, just different uniforms.
Just different. Yeah, now you're
No,
a harbinger
you met
of
my friend,
products.
Rocco 1542. I am Rocco 1543. You should expect 1542 in a moment.
Glamour projector to look like the dude.
Phenomenal,
take his
phenomenal.
Or I could just glamour projector and not have to put it on.
So you're like, "I don't like that math." You look down, you look at this guy. It's like hard to look at. The whole head is just evaporated, and blood is just firing
bit
across
bloody.
the floor. You can hear it. And then you look back up, and the dude is just standing right there. Echo has glamour projected a perfect rendition of this person. There you are.
Is Echo able to mimic his voice?
The thing about androids is they're not real good at that.
Yeah. Echo's gonna try it for these two.
Okay.
I want to hear it.
And while Kara thinks she can do it, I want to do it how Echo would do it. So I'm going to wait until, I'm assuming I have to roll like a performance or something.
Yeah, make a performance check.
While they're doing this, I'm gonna loot the body.
Okay. So you go over to this individual, and you can see that they are
Oh, sorry,
wearing-
there's no performance.
Oh, sorry. This would be a...
Disguise?
No. It's a...
really?
Da-da-da.
I thought it'd be disguise.
Do you have anything trained in profession for, like, performance of any kind?
No.
I would say then go ahead and make a charisma check.
Cool. Hate that for me.
Without your disguise modifier?
The disguise modifier is... Echo is able to, with the glamour projector, accurately mimic the visual. That's easy.
Well, there was one time that I got a 7.
Fits the story.
Maybe you don't even have to like say anything. Maybe you can just be like, you know, the strong silent type.
People like to grunt a lot. Can you grunt?
Yeah, let's hear a grunt.
Yeah, grunt.
Grunt.
No.
Oh,
A
no.
little more guttural. You gotta use your chest modulator.
That sounded like a cat being run over, really.
Deeper.
Maybe just not. Maybe just be quiet.
I want to remix this into a song so bad. we can play it on Sirenscape and see if people notice.
Faster.
Oh, man.
Deeper.
Let me see you do a head nod.
Well. And Echo looks down. They were quite chatty.
Well, if you know someone, you always nod your head up. And if you don't know someone, you always nod your head down.
That's right. That's
So
true.
so you just walk in there and swivel your hips a little, and I think you'll get it.
Maybe not the swivel hips part, but I think the head thing. I think that's on, right?
Well, at the very least, I might be able to get a shot in.
Yeah.
If the two of you wouldn't mind following quite close behind.
got
It
it.
will be messy.
Bub is gonna go up to the door and look through the window.
You
I
look through the window. Make a stealth check.
I would not.
Okay. Never.
It's a window.
It's not a
The
wall.
guy's like right there now, waiting for his friend.
I'm
Bubbles,
not gonna
if
do
there
that.
is something you need to see, I was just recently in that room.
Ari, if you can take the human that is behind the barrier. Nope. Closer to yep, and just move him next to that guy. They're like chatting in front of the barrier,
I'm
waiting
not
for
gonna
them
do
to
that.
come back.
No,
I'm
you're
gonna
right.
answer Echo.
You got it.
Is there anything we can do to, I don't know, make a good surprise attack or something? I don't know, anything to give us the element of,
I am going to focus on the Technomancer, the very large tentacled being. They seem to be the most problematic, and I believe Gibbs has enough abilities to work with the larger groups at range. I believe taking out this person would be our most advantageous plan, and as they are quite close to the doorway, I plan to just go with it.
Can I ask for one thing though? They're definitely there to alert for our presence if we choose to take this way. Is there any way to cut off their communications, or I know Shade has this whole thing in his head that he can do, but
Shade has a unique modification.
oh man, I thought I'd never say it, but I kind of miss him.
why would you not? I miss Shade all the time.
And that's why you and I are different.
Anyway, can we proceed?
Yes.
It will be strange if I don't go back.
Okay, we'll be ready.
I'm gonna army crawl this way, because she's gonna tell me about the barrels, right? You're gonna tell me about these barrels.
Yeah, do you tell us about the machine
Echo
gun?
has
Make a
described the room.
Okay, so we know about the machine gun and the generator
Yeah.
and everything.
Cool. Oh yeah, the generator. Look, we did it! Ah! Shh. Stealth check?
Yeah.
God damn.
It's +9.
She is down low, so
And
she
I'm
might.
small.
It might. If someone's looking out the window, they would have to
12.
12. Make your way along. And you
Feel
are
like Fury
small,
of the Small or something.
but you don't really think about the bottle and how that might protrude from you as you sneak.
Yeah.
And so, Echo, as you're walking over, you can see the person turns and looks, and the head just turns, and you're recognizing they're just seeing the top of the bottle, the little cork just kind of move in front of you.
Echo makes it look like they're kind of trying to push it away and also pushes Gibbs down a little bit.
I scoot on the other side of the
I'm
door.
gonna also try to assist and try to pull Gibbs back, or scoot over where they're trying to go.
Make a stealth check, Bubbles. Take a +2 conditional modifier because Gibbs is actually a little stealthier than you are.
Oh, natural 20!
So you turn. You can see the head turns, the tentacles kind of to one side, and at this moment, he lifts one arm. You see the robotic arm behind him also lift, and then the door really quickly. And Echo, you're like, shit. But you kind of look to your left, look to your right. Bubbles and Gibbs either side of the doorway, completely out of sight. You are just kind of standing right there, and
Echo's walking forward.
they click this thing. They hold out a hand for you to stop, but they click this thing, and you can hear it go from this. Vastus, talk you doing, Fred?
And they just point behind them and they're just like,
Looks, and you can see. Make a bluff check.
I believe in you.
that's a 27.
Yes, androids are worthless. Please, Finish the loading task.
What?
We've a ship to catch.
And Echo heads in. And no.
However you want to.
Can I use that bluff check for my trick attack, or do I have to roll a separate one?
Oh, you certainly could. But one thing I do want to point out, it is 9 o'clock. And so it will likely take a little bit longer than 30 minutes. I can do that. I have no work tomorrow. But it is also a good place to stop if we want to start with this next.
I am fine to continue.
All right,
it's up to-
you have the longest ride.
I'm down for you then.
Because if we don't finish this, then our friends have to wait, and that would suck.
No, I mean, I have no problem with that. I think it's part of the delay of the kind of game. And so there's role play that can happen in the car on the kind of interstitial parts.
I don't mind either way.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's
Stop
about
looking at me!
No. So this is really about, like, you have to make a long drive.
No,
It's about your
I'm
safety.
okay because my work's fine tomorrow.
Okay.
I have no meetings and my boss is off.
So you want to do this fight?
Are you cool with that?
I said whatever you want to do.
All right, let's finish.
Let's fuck shit up!
I don't know if we'll finish, but we'll start.
No, we'll finish. We'll finish.
So,
I'm gonna only focus on damage.
Echo, you step past, and for a moment, you kind of like wedge yourself between this kind of tentacle guy and the other person who stands aside to let you pass. When they gestured at that fuel cell that's kind of between those 3 barrels in that fuel cell. So you're kind of walking around and kind of making a way. No, so the one, yeah, right there. So where are you moving to?
When he said finish the loading, Echo's kind of like headed just towards this barrel so that their like movement is kind of covered by it.
Yeah.
To draw the disintegrator pistol from the quantum storage.
Perfect.
And fire at
So place yourself where you want to be for the shot.
right there.
Perfect. So go ahead and make your attack roll, and then this is a surprise round, and then we'll roll for initiative.
So the 27 I can use for my trick attack, you said?
Yes, you can.
26.
26. That is going to hit.
Yay!
Okay. Look at how many. So many dice. Get out of there. You're gonna be in the way. As I roll it out of the tray again. Alright, so that's 15, 29, 31, 42 plus 5, 47 points of A damage.
47 points of A damage. And you're firing at who?
Ding.
Okay. You fire. This disintegrator pistol just erupts right out of the quantum storage space into their chest. You can see armor pulled away, but there is this really hardened kind of plexiglass element underneath that is not fully pulled away. It hurts them, and you can see, the fuck, Fred! And he turns, and everybody can go ahead and roll for initiative. It's a good chunk of damage right off the top. there.
I'm so proud of this pistol. Thank you for my pistol, Joe.
It's a very cool pistol.
I love this pistol.
I kind of got it to you guys assuming that you would roll poorly on damage, but that's okay.
That's average roll.
Yay!
Okay.
I feel like I haven't used Gibbs's spells in so long.
Think of it this way, Joe. I have the disintegrator pistol, and I so rarely hit.
So far, so good though.
I was looking at the other levels of it. It's just basically more d20s. It's just like,
That's awesome.
I wish it went to a d100. That'd be amazing.
Okay. So, anybody natural 20? 25 to 20?
22.
22 for Echo. 20 to 15?
15.
15 for
Oh, no,
Bubbles. Gibbs?
10.
Okay.
Not bad for Gibbs.
all of you
Not
guys
bad
going
for
before
Gibbs.
them.
Oh, nice.
They rolled not great. So the way that this works out, Echo, you were starting us off, followed by Bubbles, then Gibbs, then Raucus, this sort of tentacled individual, and then everybody
Great name
else.
for a villain.
So, Echo, you were starting us off. You fire. You hear, what the fuck, Fred? As they turn, both of those mechanical arms just wheel with their arms as well. What are you doing?
Echo is going to make the glamour projector like flash in a bunch of different identities
Okay.
for a computer's check for my trick attack.
Or go for it. It is very much like there Scanner Darkly with that kind of suit. You just, and it is just rocker units and echo units and other humanoids and just various individuals.
So that's going to be a 33.
33, and that is their CR.
CR 20 plus our CR.
That was a 33. Mm-hmm. That is enough.
Damn it. That's a 13.
That is a 13 for damage.
No, to hit, man.
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah. And unfortunately, though you are certainly deceptive, you can see the sunglasses slide down, and there is just a single dark black eye behind both frames that does kind of narrow, but you don't seem to get the shot off in a way that does any damage, just ricochets off the armor.
Echo is then going to move. 1, 2, 3. Echo's gonna move here.
Okay. Where are you, and how are you getting there?
Whoop.
Okay. No problem. As you do, and you end your turn right there, that arm traces you the whole way through, and you get the sense that if you leave that range, you're provoking an attack of opportunity. Mm-hmm. But you end your kind of position under this thing. You do get the sense that the reach of this arms does mean that you're in range of both.
Yep.
But you are covered at least. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
That's it for
That is your
Echo's turn.
Echo. Bubbles, what would you like to do, Gibbs round?
I would like.
Keep in mind,
Yep.
you and Gibbs are tied together with 10 feet of fishing line between you.
Forgot about that. I'm gonna turn my Raffle Warrior. I'm gonna move up, and I'm going to try to throw my Magma Hammer at this.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna close enough it so if it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
Just gonna do. I'll just do a single attack.
Oh shit.
That's an 8 plus 15, so that's 23.
That is a hit.
Okay, didn't have to use it. Nice. It's 2d12.
Make them go dark before we. That's what's
Fuck. I cannot. I gotta get dice with that and tell me the label. Can someone give me controls? I cannot. I have like some dysgraphia
No
problems.
worries.
Don't worry about it.
Or we could find one with different shapes too. There's a whole bunch of different things that are available.
9 and 5 is 14.
Okay.
Plus 18. Wait, is that my
18. And you're using resolve points for these, right? Close enough?
No, I'm not gonna use my close enough because it hit.
Oh, right. But when
Yeah.
you do use close enough, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So, how much damage?
17, it's 17, not 18. What did I say? 23 plus 17 is 30, 40.
40. Okay. So with the 40, you destroy this thing. More than twice over, this entire kind of mechanical structure is hit perfectly head on with the hammer in such a way that it just flattens it. And when it does, the glass siding just shatters out, and there is suddenly a 10-foot sphere of just this powderized orange, very almost acidic looking mist, because as it touches the other crates around it, the paint just begins to slide off.
Yeah, I don't need to use my Raffle Warrior. I think we're good for this one.
Yeah, no
Not
problem.
gonna use it.
So that is your turn, Bubbles.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So paint.
So the paint is falling off of all the things around it. There is a 10-foot sphere that's centered on that thing.
Okay.
That seems to be acidic fog of some kind.
Okay, so nice. Okay.
So that is your turn, Bubbles. That brings us to Gibbs. Gibbs, you are tied to 10 feet of string, and Bubbles is 10 feet ahead of you.
That's fine. I'll just toad along next to him.
Okay.
I'll just can I just perch on his back? Can I like use my movement to climb him?
No problem. You
Cool.
scamper up. You don't have a climb speed, but you use your movement to get onto Bubbles' shoulders.
Cool. And I'll just spend I'll spend my movement when he spends his movement until we are disconnected.
Okay. Fair enough.
Cool.
You are now a Gundam.
Yeah.
So
You think you've got big arms?
get in the bubble.
Oh my god,
So-
Ratatouille buffs!
I don't know how we haven't done this before, but no worries. You Ratatouille Bubbles. Is there anything else that you're doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck these people up by I guess I'll start with a hurl force disc because I don't really want to spend a higher spell slot.
And this is a great place to use it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go out of this fight either.
So
I'm not gonna do anything hard.
We're gonna save the hardcore stuff for Henry.
Heyo.
this is more than 15 feet for sure.
Yeah.
That's more than 15 feet. So I really can only get these two, or I guess I'll try and get these two because why not?
So you see as Echo runs around that mechanical arm, the mechanical arm follows. And you get the sense that for the purposes of that spell, those mechanical arms are likely also targets.
Nice.
You would get the sense that that turret that the individual is standing in front of, including... Nope. So there's a gun emplacement. Yeah, that is also a valid target for that spell.
Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15 feet. Or no?
You...
They have,
Yes. You certainly could.
Okay. So,
Because of the height of those arms, yes, you can. It's close. Yeah,
Okay.
you're exactly 15
so
feet.
okay,
between
choose
top
the
one,
initial
okay.
target. Who all chooses this guy
Okay.
because he has an EAC, and I'm gonna try and hit him.
Okay.
Nice. Not great, but let's see. $14.
14. That is a miss, unfortunately. As you hurl this force disc, it just off, and you watch as it just gets right above the fan and then right down.
No!
You hear clang, 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 just from within as it bounces around rapidly like a Super Bowl.
It's only a second level spell, so it's fine.
Anything else, Gibbs?
I thought you were gonna time edge.
No, because Echo's where I would want to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's fine, regardless.
So that is your
you
turn,
doing
Gibbs. That brings us to
Yeah, I was trying to figure it
Raucous.
out.
And Raucous is just going to wheel around, follows Echo underneath this thing. He is going to crack his knuckles, and then he is going to punch once in a kind of right hook, and that right arm extends. With a reach of 15, it is easy to hit you, Echo.
Sure is.
Echo, that is going to be a 21 to hit.
EAC, KAC?
KAC.
Does not hit.
Does not hit. All right. The first one swings and it just goes straight over you. It is like a matrix move. You feel the joints in your back crack. And as you are leveled out and over, does a 27 hit?
27 does hit, unfortunately.
Give me a second here. Echo,
Yeah.
you are taking 42 points
Fuck.
of bludgeoning damage as this slams into you. This is a metal arm that is designed to put starships and things like that together, and it punches you. And though it's not its original purpose, as they swing this left hook around, you are almost flattened by it. And for just a moment, they see you kind of stagger out, and they smile beneath the tentacles. You can see they get ready to go again, but that is their turn. That brings us to everybody else. The minigun spins to life. And Bubbles, you are taking the attack from that.
Does the smoke interfere with it?
It doesn't interfere with it. You do get the sense that organic creatures are certainly affected by it. But this gun emplacement does a 27 hit.
No.
There you go. So it is a minigun that just rips across the space, and just like a monk kind of walking between droplets of water, somehow you are untouched by these bullets.
Just a quick question about the minigun.
Yeah.
Is it like stuck in place? If I go like behind it, will it hit me?
It seems to be pintle mounted, so it can turn. You don't know how far, but it can definitely turn. That is the gun emplacement itself. The person behind it is going to make a saving throw. And you watch as the Kasatha suddenly just drops to his knees. You can see all four arms just go around her to cover the mouth. They are kind of choking. They're going to crawl 10 feet to their left, and that is all they can do on their turn to get out of the fog. The one who is standing next to this individual watches Echo go, and for a moment is indecisive, but as soon as Echo gets out of their range of sight, they turn and they look at you, Bubbles. They're going to take a shot against you. You see them pull out an automatic weapon, but that is only going to be a 18 to hit. And so they fire. It just bounces off the shield. The two who are up above, Echo, one of them is going to take a shot. You do get cover. I think you have half cover for it.
I have plenty of fidgets.
That is
I'm
going to
like-
be a 25 to hit.
This is
EAC?
KSC.
Does not hit.
There you go. So they fire. It just digs into the metal platform above. The person who is next to them can't get a shot on you, actually. And so they will take a shot on you, Bubbles. Bubbles does a 32 hit.
yes.
Okay. So with that, you are only taking 20 points of fire damage as this fires into you, and you expect automatic gunfire, but you see just a pinpoint of light and then a flash as the laser is shot through this lens and just rips into you. It hurts quite a bit. But the individual all the way at the end is also going to take a shot against you, Bubbles.
Okay.
That is going to be a 29 to hit.
EAC or KAC? Oh no,
EAC.
That's meets a beats it.
Meets it, beats it. Bubbles, you are only taking 13 points of fire damage as this glances off your shoulder. But that is all of the people who are able to fire. And that brings us to the top of the round. Echo. You are now underneath. You are almost leveled by this arm, but as they both wheel back and you can see, get ready to swing again. What are you doing?
Do I have a clear shot if I move from here to this guy? Like just right behind?
You do. Again, 15 feet of reach. You'll provoke one attack of opportunity.
Do I have a clear shot if I just kind of bend? Like,
He'll get half cover, but yeah.
he'll get half cover. Okay. I'm gonna risk it.
Okay.
Gonna move this way.
Does a 17 hit your KSC?
No.
Swings. And as he swings, you watch the tentacled individual swings. That is his reaction. And you get the sense that that probably applies to all three of those.
Beautiful.
Him and the two arms.
I would love Joe to just. Are there exposed wires?
In what sense? Yes.
Computers check to yank a vital one as my computers check for a trick attack?
From this arm?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, no, hopefully I roll just as good for my attack. So that's going to be 20 plus 21 is 41
41.
for my computer's check.
You yank out these wires, and suddenly all of the lights on it begin to just flash in multicolors, and the arm, and you hear, yeah, party! And it seems to have entered some kind of a demo mode, but certainly effective.
All right, 26 to hit.
26 is a hit.
Yes!
3 sneak attacks in one session. Second time ever this has happened for Echo.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Hey, you now have double the times that I've done it.
I'm so excited. The only thing that could make this better is if I got a natural 20 this round.
I believe in you. Damn.
Damn, indeed.
It's close. It's
It's
halfway.
a lot of bad numbies. So that's 7, 17, 27, 32 points of A damage.
32 points of A damage. First, this thing has a hardness, so you get the
Oh,
sense...
I was sorry, aiming at this guy.
Oh. Sorry, what was your roll to hit?
26.
Against...
A damage. I don't know what that
A
is.
damage is EAC, that is a hit still.
Okay.
So how much?
Oh.
36.
36.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, this is not a rough.
Okay.
This guy's menacing.
You fire, and the acid just rolls across them. It goes underneath this arm, just sprays into them. As they turn to look at this dancing arm, you can see their arm for a moment like jerks in time with it, and they kind of like regain control. But they look, and as they look, acid just straight across their face. The glasses shatter, and you can see just this one eye squinting against the pane. But they're still up.
Okay. But hurt.
Sure. Anything else, Echo?
No, but I didn't like that.
Would you like to use an action to make a perception check to see how hurt they
That
are?
was my action already. I
There you go.
have no extra
Anything else,
action.
Echo?
No, Kara's
Alrighty.
just gonna not like that as a
That
free
brings us to
action.
Bubbles.
I'm going to move up. No, I don't have. I kind of want to do a trigger attack to attack after Gibbs does her thing because I don't want to mess her up.
Well, you guys are moving on the same initiative. So.
okay.
Or no,
I'm
sorry, you're
on
not. You're not
you.
anymore.
You're
But you are on
and
each
I won't
other.
ever hit myself, so like you're good.
Okay, then I'm going to just move up here and I'm going to attack him.
Yeah, make your attack roll. No problem.
Single attack.
You move. It's a little bit ungainly because Gibbs is on your shoulders, and so that does make it a little bit lopsided. But you get there, no problem.
It's a good thing Spice isn't here to get ideas.
Backpack style.
Hold on. I can move 1, 2, 30. Oh, I can jetpack. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Can I go here?
Yeah, with a jetpack,
Yeah.
no problem. I would say because you're kind of just jumping over this guy, that will provoke an attack from him.
Oh, okay. I don't want to do that then. I will just I'll just go here then.
Okay.
No attack.
No problem. You kind of use the rocket step to just make one step closer with Gibbs on your back.
That's a 2.
A 2? Well,
Plus 15, 17.
that is a miss, unfortunately. You swing, they duck out of the way, and they're pulling this auto gun around on you. But anything else, Bubbles?
That's it.
Alrighty, Gibbs, you are on the shoulders. You see this guy turning to level a gun towards Bubbles.
Yeah, not super often I am eye level with the enemy. So for Gibbs, this is a little bit of a weird experience, but kind of like leans into it a little.
Sure.
And like makes eye contact with this guy. And then just like imagines a wall in her head and just shoves this like imaginary wall at this guy. The tentacle pleat guy,
Sure.
please. Could you make a wheel save?
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
28. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, my DC's only
I got the
19,
rest after
so
He just bursts through the will, no problem. The single eye is still kind of squinted shut. He doesn't make good eye contact with you because he just got, attacked with acid. Anything else? All
I
right.
imagined a wall and the wall
No
didn't
problem.
happen, so-
Imagining a wall, somehow not a free action, but that is your turn, Gibbs. That does
Is it your
bring
wonder
us
wall?
It was my wonder wall.
to Raucus.
Everyone will wonder
He
why I
turns
made it.
and in common, he looks up and he says, "Warn the others, take the lift." He's going to turn and kind of looking over, clearing his eye with the arm, takes the arm with that motion and swings over towards you, Echo. That is going to be something like a 30.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
real high. Where's my dice? Much better for you. That is only going to be 34 points of damage
Sure.
as this slams in, and then the second attack also going to be only a 31.
Wait, second attack? Oh, I'm still within reach!
Oh, sorry, you moved. 5, 10. Are you within 15 feet?
I'm right here.
Yeah, so
That
you're
helps.
within 15 feet. Does a 29 hit?
Yes.
KAC? Alrighty. Echo, that is only going to be 30 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, I am not healthy.
Slam. One of them almost knocks you into the other one, and it is like you are hit from above and below in opposite directions. You feel mechanism short, you feel things kind of sever and break. But that is his turn. That brings us to the others. This gun emplacement, with no further user input, continues to fire in the same arc, just shooting up the wall behind it. The individual has now crawled out of this acid, and he will stand up. He is going to draw his lenticular pistol and probably take a shot at you, Bubbles.
Yep.
Bubbles does a 30 hit.
KAC?
EAC.
Yeah. Fuck.
Like to ask for 30 is crazy to me. I love that.
I know, his Bubbles is so high though. You take 19 points of fire damage. At this close range, the lens seems to focus this laser intensely. The individual directly in front of you, Bubbles, is going to take a ranged weapon attack against you, which does provoke an opportunity, I believe.
Yeah.
This semi-auto pistol, that is only going to be a 28 to hit against your KAC.
Oh, that misses.
There you go. So
There
at
we
point
go.
blank, it fires into you, and the bullet just stops and hits the ground.
That is a 10 plus 15, 25.
25 meets it.
Nice. Okay. That's a 2 plus 8 is 10 plus why did I write that down? Plus 17 is 27.
27.
I should write that down.
With this one swing of the hammer, as they fire at you, the bullet drops off. You take the hammer and you just uppercut them. Their head snaps back. You feel the jaw fracture in place, and they are badly hurt but still alive.
Okay.
Anything else, Bubbles?
That's it.
Okay, so that's your reaction. They take that shot against you. The one who is all the way back is going to take 30 feet of movement to get to that barrier that is right in front of them.
Oh, what the fuck? There's someone there?
And he is going to take a shot against you, Bubbles.
Oh my god.
I'm right there.
Bubbles, that is only going to be a 20 to hit. And so misses by a bad margin.
Like 40.
The people who are up at top, you can take that Kasatha and move them over to that white control panel.
This one?
Kasatha. Yeah. And they begin to manipulate these controls. As they do, you hear the sound of machinery beginning to spin to life. You would imagine you probably have a round until this lift begins to move. The other individual who is up at the top is going to move to the very top of the ramp, and he is going to take a shot against Bubbles.
This guy?
The one that's on the... Yeah.
Oh.
Bubbles, that is only going to be a 27 to hit.
It misses.
Okay, and so as this auto gun across, it just misses, kind of not wanting to hit his boss. But that is all that they can do, and that brings us to the top of the round and to you, Echo. Echo, you feel the impacts of these. These are designed to build starships, and they are punching you. It hurts. What are you doing?
Ow. Echo is...
Still in character as Fred.
Yeah. Echo is going to keep going. Yank another wire for the computer's check.
Sure.
It's going to be amazing. Of course it is. It's a 30...
That is enough.
Wait.
30's
30
enough?
I'm not done.
Maybe it's
30,
not enough.
39.
It's a failure.
Oh, damn.
Roll your attack.
It's on the floor, it doesn't count.
Yes.
Definitely doesn't count if you can't find it.
That is a 29.
That is a hit. And so this individual turns, says to warn Hardcore Henry,
Okay. Average numbers. 11, 22, 30, 35
35.
points of A damage.
Echo, you turn, you point this pistol, and as they turn and they swing this blow at you, they swing another one. They turn and they say, "Go and warn Henry," and you fire, and you hit right into the socket of the armpit. The arm and just hits the ground wetly. You see the fingers begin to twitch and spasm. The rest of the ray enters into the armpit and just seems to end within them, and you see the chest cave in from within as they slump forwards and they die.
This guy?
Yes.
Nice.
Both of those mechanical arms suddenly shut down.
Yes. Get off there.
Very nice. That's
Focus fire.
So much damage on that guy. Yeah.
Focus fire. And
He's a sturdy dude.
I
too.
hit almost every
menacing.
trick attack.
Yeah. But
You
no
stop these
worries.
people now.
Anything else, Echo? You haven't moved yet.
No, I haven't.
They're now inert arms.
Yeah.
And you've got this down guy right there.
Echo's not doing well though.
Oh,
No,
Does he
he's up.
move?
He's up now.
Yeah,
Echo's not doing well though.
I know. I'm gonna try and help you.
Can you coffee yourself?
No. Echo is going to just. Minnie can't go here
Yeah.
because
No
it will
worries.
fall.
Yeah, but you can.
But Echo is there.
No problem. You run up. You are right at the top of this ramp. You are face to face with this individual who is
stuff's
holding this
AoE.
automatic weapon right at you.
Should I not have gone there?
You see the
matter.
Kasatha is
You're
like
there.
turning, and they are furiously working on the controls. But that is it. You do notice next to this console there is an intercom, and they could use that to probably talk to the top level. They haven't used it yet, for what it's worth, but it is there.
Okay, in which case Echo still has movement.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go there and risk the attack opportunity.
no worries. It's not going to be great. They're holding a gun, and so it's really just like the butt of the weapon as they swing. That is going to be only a 22 to hit. Can you see? They swing, and
That
you
was so lucky.
right by underneath. They turn and are still tracing and will probably fire at you on their turn. But you are now right at the console. You are on the lift.
Hello.
You can see type faster. It just gets faster. But that is your turn, Echo.
Can I what?
Alrighty. Bubbles. Down at the bottom, you watch as Echo executes this individual and then darts off up underneath this gun and then is now on the lift proper.
Need to be close.
You heard this individual bark out
shit's
to make the
distance.
lift move, and it's moving. What are you doing?
It seems like Echo is on team stop the communication, which is important because we need that element of surprise still. I'm going to attack this guy in front of me.
Okay.
I'm going to turn on my Raffle Warrior. I wanted to save the SP points for later, or RP points for later, but fuck it. I'm going to attack him.
Okay. You can see he like has the weapon kind of like leveled towards you. He just missed the shot, but he's recentering.
That's a 17.
Plus?
This is a full attack. I was gonna.
It's -4.
Yeah, so it's plus 11. So 17 plus 11 is 28.
That is a hit.
Okay.
Sorry.
7 plus 17 is 14 plus what is it? 7 plus 17 is 34, right?
7 plus 17 is 24.
Yeah, sorry, my math's terrible. 24.
24 is enough, but just barely.
Yeah.
34 would have been much more comfortable. But this individual already kind of like bleeding a little bit out of his nose. He turns to you. He has this weapon. He's recentering it, and you just deck him with a hammer.
Yeah.
This crushes his chest, and he just sinks to the ground, sucking air, and then stops. He is off the ground.
Okay, I have a second attack. Can I do it to someone else?
You cannot break up your movement, I don't believe.
He's
I can. Okay.
Have you moved?
He hasn't moved.
Oh, then you can move.
I haven't moved.
Don't.
I'd throw it.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna throw it at this guy.
Throw your hammer. You swing it once, slamming into this individual, and then using the momentum as it kind of pulverizes him to the ground, you just let go.
That's a natural one.
No!
Enough it.
No, I believe it specifies.
Does it?
Let's look at this.
It's up to you, Joe. Whatever you
No,
want to do.
it's but your D20 roll is not a 1. You can spend 1 resolve point to treat the attack as a successful hit. So you rolled a natural 1.
Yeah.
Cannot work with the close enough, unfortunately.
Okay.
So you swing and it just right by. Anything else, Bubbles?
That's it.
Alrighty. that is your
Definitively not close enough.
turn. Gibbs, yeah. That's the only place where it can't be close enough.
Okay.
Oh,
So
love that.
Gibbs is gonna lifelink to Echo just to start.
Okay.
You heal 10, I take 10, but that's fine.
Thank you.
And then Gibbs is gonna hop off of Bubs, and just with the sheer force of Scramble, as she like crawls up this thing, is gonna break its fishing line. So it's not like.
Okay.
And I'll take damage if I have to if it bites.
Just
into
one
me.
thing to think about.
Yeah.
Going forward, if you're using fishing line to hold each other and just running is going to tear it, almost certainly it's not going to hold you.
We'll find some titanium wire.
Yeah.
We have
We
titanium.
do have to do that. But no problem.
for
So
space.
you run and ting, and you realize, Gibbs, as you're running, this would have done absolutely fucking nothing for you.
Yeah.
But you keep going.
But we've just, it's fishing line in my head. And I'm gonna be up here. Same sort of position as Echo wanted to be.
Okay.
So looking this way, these folks are both within a 30-foot cone.
Yes, they are.
Great. So I'm gonna spend a third.
Because you're not on the top. You're like in front of that guy.
Right. Yeah. I can't.
Yeah, I
I'm
got
in
you.
his space. So I'm gonna stare at him.
Echo's also in a 30-foot con.
That's fine.
Okay,
'cause
just to be
it's-
clear.
This one I can pick.
Nice.
Wait, can I pick? It affects all living. Fuck!
Doesn't matter. Do it anyway.
Do it.
Fine. Okay.
I
Wait.
already said it.
Yeah. I'm gonna fear them,
Okay.
and I want them to make a will saving throw. And it's a 3rd level, so my DC is something specific.
And I believe do you have your staff still?
I do, but I think I would have to have that out, right?
Yeah. So one of them does have a decent will save. That is going to be a 28 for one. The other one's only going to be an 18.
The 18 guy fails.
Okay.
So
the
decisive.
individual who is actually like on the console, they fail.
Cool. And my command is going. So they become panicked and they become afraid of me, but I want to tell them the thing that they're afraid of. I'm gonna be like, don't go up there. You just failed. You let us through. Don't go up there. And so I want to make that, like, as I'm kind of on this lift precipice, the scary thing is me, but also going up there.
Sure, no problem.
Cool.
So you say that you cause this individual and Echo to be frightened of you as you loom up in both Echo and this individual's mind. You are a towering, monstrous rat creature from a dimension that is both eldritch and horrorful. I've used my words wrong.
Yeah, you're good.
But you know
The
what
things
I mean.
in the weird rat room followed me.
Yeah.
It followed.
Channel Lao Shupo, the grandmother, and you are a terrifying rat. Anything else, Gibbs?
that was Shupo was the grandma.
Yeah. You didn't realize that?
No! God!
He said it before.
I know he did,
Anything
but I
else,
didn't
Gibbs?
tie two and two together. Fuck!
Anything
you
else,
knew.
Gibbs? Anything else, Gibbs?
That's why you made the
That
prayer.
brings us to the rest of the room. This minigun just traces into the walls, still firing until it's empty. The Kasatha on the bottom is going to cross 15 feet to use that, to use the cover right there. Yep, perfect. And he is going to fire at you, Bubbles.
Yep.
He's going to take a full attack to take 2 shots.
Do it.
It's fine. I'm doing that. Ariana's good.
That is going to be a 24 to hit.
Miss.
And a lower, so both of them just right off. The bullets just going in every direction. But the person behind you is going to get to within 10 feet of you to like be point blank, and they're going to take a single shot with this automatic weapon.
Yeah, let's do it.
And that is only going to be a 12 to hit.
That misses.
As they fire, it just goes straight around. You are sort of dancing between the bullets here. But up at the top, the individual who followed Echo is now going to take a shot at your back.
Yeah.
Echo, that is only going to be a 20 to hit KSC.
No.
And so, not wanting to shoot their friend, they take a pretty conservative shot. The one in front of you, they are frightened, and I believe they can still attack.
So hold on. They must cower if they are cornered. So they're panicked,
Yes.
but if they're cornered, they become cowering. So it depends on if they feel like they're cornered or not.
They're not.
Okay. So then they become panicked, which is just like I think a negative to their.
Okay. So,
Oh wait, you drop everything that you're holding and you flee.
yep. So what? And that's the unfortunate part. They drop their weapon. They turn, and they're not cornered. There is no wall to the lift. They leap, and they're going to jump off the lift to get down, and they fall a little bit closer, actually. Yeah, forward more. Right there, yeah. And they fall prone right there. Give me 1 second here.
You drop all held items. You flee at top speed. You cannot take any other actions. You take a negative.
So there's a lenticular pistol up at the top, and they do take 10 points of damage as they kind of fly down and just face plant on the ground. But that's all that they can do. That is all of the enemies, and that does bring us to the top of the round to you, Echo. Echo, you are frightened. You drop your weapon. And
I dropped everything.
And you flee from me.
And I flee, and it's set at top speed.
At 300 feet.
Echo, I think it's up on the other side of maintenance deck too.
You're in
hang
the
on 1
lab.
sec. It's
Not
50
deck two,
each
deck
one
one.
is 50 feet long, the subsections.
Okay.
So you move 300 feet.
No, it's 80 times 6.
Give me a number there.
40. So it's. What's 80 times 6?
480. Faster than Siri.
Through all the subsections, you just fire straight through. Can you go ahead and for me make a will saving throw, please?
Thank God. 25.
A 25. As you rush through the darkened room of the grandmother, for just a moment, you feel a bony finger on your shoulder. You feel it drag across as if trying to pull you into the darkness, but then you're too quick for the grandmother. You just make your way all the way through all 6 subsections and up about 40 feet of stairs
Okay.
as you are on your way to maintenance section 3.
Well, at
Or
least
2.
I know that I can just run at top speed
Oh,
all
yeah.
the way back.
Oh yeah, you're fast. But no problem, that is your turn.
Also, that means Echo could have, if Echo just ran at top speed through all the rooms, which kind of they did, that means Echo got across the entire maintenance section in 6 seconds.
Yeah, that goes
You
fast.
could have just did that.
Echo did!
Your grandmother's like, how dare you?
But that is your turn, Echo.
All hopped on your back.
That brings us to Bubbles. Bubbles, you are
a saving throw
abandoned by
for your
Echo, and you see an individual dive off the top.
Yep.
They're down prone. You can see this other Kasatha kind of leaning on this arm. The other person behind you, what are you doing?
I'm gonna close enough, probably, if I
Oh, it
have
lasts
to,
for-
attack this guy, because
Yep.
I don't want him to hit the comms.
So the hammer returns to your hand. You use the momentum to wind up and then throw it back again.
Shaking.
Oh, he's shaken.
This guy's shaking.
So that's
Because
minus
you-
1.
-2.
Minus 2 to AC. Alright, maybe I don't know how to use it. I haven't used it yet. Oh, that's a 4. I'm gonna have to use it.
What is the total?
And this is a full attack.
Oh yeah.
Because if we're gonna do both.
Wrathful Warriors plus.
Sorry, I'm like off my game today. 2d12. So it's just plus 17. So
Plus
it's just
17?
damage.
17 points
Plus-
of damage.
plus
The hammer
18,
slams into them. They take 19 points of damage as it just kind of warps an element of their
Second attack.
armor. Didn't you take... Oh, yeah, right. Full attack.
Yeah. That's a 9 plus 15. Is that enough to hit?
That's 24.
Yeah.
Against KAC,
Oh, 1 minute.
Yes.
that is a miss,
Okay,
unfortunately.
close enough. I'm gonna minus 2 close enoughs.
All right, so 2 19s, that's 38 points of damage total. They are smashed, and you can see all 4 legs bow, kind of like a cow when they're about to lay down, but they just keep on their feet.
That's my turn.
Sorry, roll damage. -2, shaken. That is enough to hit. My fault.
Oh, I was gonna close enough. I closed enough.
Yeah, you can unclose enough because that actually hit.
Oh.
With -2 for the
That
shaken
does more
condition.
damage then.
Yes, it does.
Way to go. All right.
Yeah, that
That's what I
actually-
get for being
That's 12 and a 9.
Very nice. So for a total
Nice.
of...
That's 12 and a 9 is 21. 21 plus 17 is
Holy shit, it's 38.
38.
As you swing the hammer the
math
second
today.
time, it hits, and you can see the armor shatters across their chest. The hammer just continues to move as the body bisects down. The 4 legs keep the torso together, so it's like this horrifying centaur with 2 torsos before it just slides all the way down the steps to the very bottom level and just dies at your feet.
Bubs is gonna say, trying to split, huh?
And you just can hear from both sides of the throat just this as it dies. That is the response. Anything else, Bubbles?
No, that's it.
Alrighty.
Point of order.
Yeah.
I also have a -2 penalty to all saving throws because I'm panicked.
What did you roll?
So I rolled a 25 and it becomes a 23.
That is just barely a pass.
Oh, thank
You're
God.
still okay.
I want to go back to the grandmother.
That is your turn.
You kind of have to now.
That brings us to Gibbs.
Gibbs is gonna realizing Echo, like as Echo just like ruffles Gibbs's mohawk as she like runs past in a whirlwind. Gibbs is gonna drop the fear.
Okay.
So
Fear's
for both, so that guy's no longer afraid of Gibbs because Gibbs is now king of a hill.
You are. You're up
Gibbs
on the
has
lift.
won.
It is rumbling a little bit. They did start it, and so you would need to stop it.
I find the big red button.
You run over to this kind of white thing. It is a Jacinto brand console. It is all uncommon. You can understand it easily. You just yank the lever, and the power just sinks down at your feet.
And is this console got just like a regular plug?
Like a power outlet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Bum.
You unplug it, the lights go out. Everything else is active,
Yeah.
but you cannot remotely operate it from this terminal.
And the communicator button you said was there is gone too?
You
It's
gently
off.
yank it, or you like, yeah?
I like, man.
No, I don't imagine you just yanked it right
Yeah,
out.
I yank it right out. I like look and I'm like, oh yes, plug. That's my whole action.
can plug
No problem. You unplug it. That is now a little
Oh,
bit
did
safer.
you take
for the
damage
effort.
in your last round?
No.
Okay.
So
If you take damage and you're bleeding, you have to tell me.
that is Gibbs' turn.
That's
That
the
brings
rules.
us to their turns. So the individual who just leapt off this peels himself back up to his feet. They are going to. That's all they can do, really. Yeah.
Why did I do that?
They're gonna, as a free action. No, they have nothing they could do. They stand up. They're winded. They're sucking air in through the bandana. The individual who is kind of using the arm as a shelter is going to. Can you put them in front of the fuel cell? They're going to kick that. And
Oh,
as
no.
it rolls, give me 1 second here.
Which direction?
It only rolls 5 feet forwards. Yep, right there. And then they are going to shoot it because that was their plan and they didn't anticipate it not rolling very far. Luckily, they miss as they fire, and this lenticular pistol just makes a burn across the ground right in front of it. But they pull the pistol up, realizing what's going to happen. That is their turn. They can't move, so they're stuck there.
I just imagine like a bunch of people around like, what the fuck, dude?
The guy who is behind you, Bubbles, will take a shot
Yep,
against
let's do
you.
it. We're at temp HP now because I'm
Doesn't
full.
even matter. That is going to be a 21 to hit. And so this fire the automatic fire just traces across. He doesn't hit. That is all their turns. That brings us to Echo. Echo.
Come back.
You wheel around on your heel.
Will saving.
Where are you? Oh.
And Echo ends up there.
Make a will saving.
Yep. Please be good. Please be good.
This grade's been untouched for so long, and then Echo, you do it 4 times.
We should become ghost hunters.
It's 12?
That's a failure.
Bounty.
That is a failure.
You're running, and so fast are you have no problem getting through, but as you get through the darkness of this room, you don't feel a bony finger, you don't feel anything like that, but for a moment, it's like time freezes.
No.
And you hear in the darkness this voice. You've lost something dear to you. Don't worry. We'll help you find it. We'll be with you for a long, long time. All the lights come back on, and it is just flickering candles. You right past the candles out with your speed.
Echo's moving at top speed while all this is happening, and Echo's just like, and
You can
just
write
see
on your
Echo-
stat sheet the Curse of La Chapelle.
Oh, damn! Cursed as fuck!
No, what does that mean?
But you
It means
rush
we
into
don't
the
know what
room,
to do.
and Echo, you can put yourself anywhere within 40 feet of the entrance to this room. No, sorry, anywhere within 80 feet to the entrance of this room.
If Echo just is turning around and going back exactly where they were, Echo would have can end up there.
Yes,
but
you can.
Echo is going to stand right in front of Bubs and just look shell-shocked,
Okay,
which just looks normal to everybody.
no problem. That is your turn, Echo. That brings us to you, Bubbles. Echo is suddenly right next to you. There is a whoosh of wind.
Bubs is still in combat mode, so he's gonna turn around, face this guy, and he's going to full attack Dofko.
Okay, make your attack rolls.
That's a 14 plus 11, so that's 25.
That hits.
That's what I think. 8 and 9 is 17 plus 17 is 34. Is that right?
That sounds right. With 34, you swing the hammer
Yeah,
and it just
34.
caps him right at the knee. You feel it. That's okay. You feel it crack. There is something that just shatters within. They are still up, but they sink down and they scream in pain.
Second attack. That's an 8. Close enough.
Close enough. You miss, but in that moment, you take your elbow and in the
That was
follow
gonna
through.
hit, right? Or no?
What was the full?
It was 8 plus 11, so
No,
19.
that is not a hit.
Sorry.
So with close enough, you follow through with your elbow and use that to just break their nose. And it barely hits them, but it pushes the bone into their brain and they die.
Nice.
You turn and there is only 2 individuals left, and neither of them look great. But that is your turn, Bubbles?
Yep.
Alrighty, Gibbs, what are you doing? You are up at the top. You have pulled the plug. You have stopped the lift.
Gotta do damage.
Yeah, alright. Gibbs is gonna go there, and I guess we'll mind thrust this guy that I'm looking down on.
Okay.
I'll do it at 2nd level, please.
He is just inhaling so hard because he is winded from falling flat in his stomach. But what kind of save?
Will save, please. And my 2nd level will save.
That's a natural
is-
1.
Nice.
Nice.
4d10. Oh, I wish I had someone to help me with math.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 7 is 18, plus 2 is 20. 20 damage.
20 points of damage.
Yeah.
Gibbs, as you do this, you mind thrust, and you can see they're down there sucking in air. You can hear them just go, "We must atone for the loss of Clan L," and then their head explodes as they die.
Nice.
Plan whatever. Feel bad.
There's one Kasatha left, and they are badly hurt. You can see their weapon is pulled there right in front of this fuel cell. But that is your turn, Gibbs. That brings us to them. They're going to kick the fuel cell again to get it closer to Bubbles and Echo now. It does move right next to Echo, and they are going to shoot at the fuel cell.
Please miss.
That is a natural 20.
Wow.
Luckily, it is not the damage from the weapon. It is the damage from the fuel cell.
Yes.
Yeah, but
It's still not a small amount of damage.
Bye, all. Goodbye.
Okay. Wow.
Thankfully, Starfinder, you can't be killed outright. too easily.
That's 27 points of fire damage.
I'm
It
down.
Ruptures and explodes, and it
hit me
just
too?
knocks. Yeah, it hits you too.
So
It
27 minus
hits you, Echo, and fires you against the other fuel cells in the corner. Your body is not enough to damage them in a way that causes them to rupture, but you get the sense that this could be really bad for you should they shoot. There are several right behind you, and then you lose consciousness.
22.
As it
I
explodes,
have 2 temp HP.
that hits you, Bubbles. It rips these barrels open. You can pull the barrels off the map and the fuel cells off the map, but that is all. That is their turn. That brings us to the top of the round to Echo. Echo, are you stabilizing?
Yes. How does one do this? This is a
Spend
first.
a third of your resolve points in order to do it, but I think it's like a max of 2 or 4.
2, I believe.
Yeah, so just spend 2 resolve points.
A max of 2?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
Echo.
you become stabilized.
Actually,
Oh, because the curse.
you have a curse. So you can spend 1 resolve point, and you can return to 1 HP.
I dislike this.
Your maximum HP reduces by 10.
Forever?
For now. And you can mark that down.
Continue with the curse.
You imagine the curse will change that maximum again.
Pray it doesn't change again.
I've already altered your HP. But, you are back up. You have that 1 hit point. You only have to spend a single resolve point to do that.
That's not bad though. That's a kind of a nice trade-off.
No, it's not.
Be positive.
Anything else?
I took
Echo?
the stuff.
Yes. Echo just kind of like stands up, brushes themselves off, looks up at the Kasatha that remains. Clan, what was it?
Elme.
Elme. You cannot possibly be getting paid enough. And in no way will helping Hardcore Henry restore honor to Clan Alme.
Make an intimidation check.
Okay, that's 17.
With a 17, doesn't seem to have sunk in too heavily, your words. You do see there's uncertainty behind the red eyes, but they haven't broken yet.
Do I get like a modifier for having survived getting hit with a fuel cell?
Not really.
Okay. Okay.
You know, you're up there.
You gotta try,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Anything else?
Yeah, Echo's just gonna go up here and like,
Right.
hi!
Yeah, no problem. You are up there. You
Actually-
have the high ground now. Yeah,
There we go.
you have it in cover now. That is your turn, Echo. That brings us to Bubbles.
I'm gonna go up,
Okay.
and Bub is gonna yell, "That was my friend!" And he's gonna just straight up single attack.
I am still here.
Bubs doesn't know that. Bubs.
I spoke in
no,
your
The
ear.
explosion happened, and you were so fast, it's like you're gone.
18.
Tinnitus.
This is just gonna be a single attack.
Yeah, that
I
will
wish-
definitely hit
I
that.
wish I did full, but
That's definitely going to hit.
I think I had to tell you before. I'm sorry.
No, no worries,
I'm
no
very
worries.
rusty.
I feel the same about Gibbs. I was like, I haven't used your
Yeah,
spells in so
we haven't.
long.
I haven't done combat in so long.
Yeah.
Because of the space combat. 11. Wow. 11,
Bubbles.
20, 22 plus 17 is 19.
22 plus 17 is 39.
Thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say 39.
Tell us how it happens.
Bubs is like dragging his hammer and like creating a bunch of sparks, and he just hits him with the hammer. And as he hits him with the hammer, he like kind of like falls through and like jumps in the air and kind of does like a Hyrule kind of like shuriken, kind of like spin in the air.
Oh yeah. So the hammer slams into him in the air. You spin it around, it hits him in the back again. You feel the spine snap, and he is already dead, but the body just end over end, and you watch as it falls straight into the path of this minigun that is still firing into the wall and floor, and his body just falls to shreds. To shreds, I say, on the ground, and you are all out of combat.
I feel as though this is one of our more particularly brutal fights.
Yeah, you're not looking so high. Are you?
Echo, are you okay?
I meant more of the fact that we just shredded multiple individuals.
Oh, well, I mean, normally their heads don't survive fights anyways, so.
But also, yes, I am feeling quite terrible.
Well, come here. Come snuggle. You too, Bubbles.
Echo behind you. As this combat is dying down, you watch Bubbles just end this person. You feel a presence behind you, and if you glance, there's nothing there, but the air feels darker. And you hear in your ear, "You haven't lost enough yet. You have more And because it is 10 o'clock, this is where we're going to end for the evening. But if you want to see some more role-playing action, you can join us tomorrow night, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for some original D&D.
Where I'm also cursed by a presence that follows me
Yeah,
around and
it's
tells me I haven't lost enough.
It's a running theme.
No, way worse, I think, in my opinion. I think the grandmother has some redeeming qualities. I think your Billy backstory, fewer. But you can see what that means tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Twitch when we play some D&D. Kara's going to be there. I'm going to be there. You'll see some of our other friends as well. If you can't wait that long, you just kind of have to. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.